Well, well, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, and good morning, everybody. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to another episode of The Morning Glow. Welcome to another episode of The Morning Glow. I'm your host, Raheen Ajame. Not important, just a question asker. I'm just a question asker. Let me get that thing right. I'm just a question asker. My name is Raheen Ajame out of Atlanta, Georgia, but we got the whole family that's going to be with us this morning. I'm so looking forward to each and every one of them being here with us. And and speaking, kicking it off, kicking my voice. Won't wake up this morning, kicking it off. We got my brother. This is my brother from another mother, but we got the same father. This is Mo. Good morning, Mo. How you doing this morning?
Hey, get to it. You're supposed to do that after you do that cough, man. So you got to know how to improv with that.
Okay.
Little James Brown.
The people that zip it zip of the mind. Zip it up, zip it up.
There you go. That's how you hide it, man. That's how you hide it. That's how you hide it. Ain't nothing but a cough, but an opportunity.
There you go. There you go. That's what it is. That's all it is, brother. How you doing, man? How's your weekend?
Um, hey, single dad, cleaning, man. It's like the folding the laundry and everything else. I so miss my departed wife, ex-wife, but we were getting together before we lost her, and just dealing, with single dad with his sons.
And
You know,
you're doing a great job, brother. You're doing a great job.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Come on, man. Keep doing what
They
you're
don't
doing.
they don't talk about us single dads enough.
Oh no, I got another friend of mine, man. In Augusta, man. He had single dad, man. Situations happened in the marriage, and he had 5 kids, man. Raised 5 kids by himself, man. I was like, wow,
Yes.
brother. I was like, brother, you don't get enough compliments, brother, for everything that you do, because but people don't. It's a lot, man.
Hey, man, we're men. That's what we do, and we gotta. When you got daughters, then not only you got to protect them, hold their heart. You got sons, you got to, when they get that warrior spirit, when they buck up, and that's natural being a man with the testosterone, you got to know how to handle that. People say 2 chops to the throat, hit them to the white meat show. That means charges in today's environment.
Yeah. It really does. It really does. And then now you got a whole different situation.
Now you got a whole different situation. Job messed up, new, trying to get prospects, and court system screwed up. If you live in Fulton County, Georgia, got the boy, person on video, and you got these cops, young cops, who maybe they have dedication but no discernment. You're talking about this weekend on Friday. Cops, everything in the neighborhood, the local corner store. It's like, what's happening in my hood? Post Freddy blows up. I'm on the news with that from a gas main leak, not their fault. Family restaurant gone. Then the corner store that is safe, that the owner is like, no, the community needs this. I'm staying open. Give them what they need. And 2 people get shot right outside the door. And it's gang activity, drug activity, because we're coming into the summertime when these young kids are on the hustle. They're trying to get that money. The parents are doing the best they can, but they ain't doing it. They want instant gratification, the pornographic pursuit of the now. I want this now. So what do you get when you want it now? I see you got sagging pants and everything else. You ain't got no new car. You haven't stepped up your game. You're doing enough to get you high, and the hang and feel mellow, and getting a little food in here, getting a little, girls on the side who, like that sort of thing, giving them money. And it's just this trap.
Trap. Hey, Mo. I'm going to stop you. I'm going to stop you right there, man. Let me stop you right there. And I'm going to tell you why I'm going to stop you right there. Man, you making me depressed this morning, man.
It's Monday. More heart attacks occur on Monday than any other day of the week.
Listen. You making me and probably making some of our listeners depressed, man. All this sad stuff you talking about this morning. This is Monday. We got to pick them up, man, and wake them up and let them have something positive to look forward to, man. You done painted the whole picture of all this negative stuff, man. You making people depressed this morning, man. What is good? Tell me something that's good.
Well, people, let me tell you about my best friend. He's a warm-hearted buddy. I love him to the end. Whether we're talking man to man or talking son to son, he's my best friend. My son CJ and I, as a single dad, my son has been, there and has been my best friend and checking on me and say, hey, Dad, how you doing? Listening to him, watching movies and stuff. So that's the good thing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Keeping us.
Hey, James, what? And James said, "Laugh out loud." Yeah, man, I'm telling you. Let me put it on the screen here so people see what James said. James said, "Laugh out loud." Yeah, man. We here to uplift people, man. And that's good about your son, man. That's absolutely good. But we here to uplift them up, man. We ain't here to send them away and they come in here, man, and hang out with us. They walk away depressed. Think about suicide, all kind of stuff, man. We can't leave them like that.
No, I ain't saying nothing about suicide. No.
You ain't said no. I see, and I didn't either in that regard. But I'm just saying, I said we can't do them like that. We got to keep people happy, man. Give them something to look forward to. Let them know that there's a possibility that just like your neighbor overcame, persevered. We talked about perseverance last week, I think it was. Persevered and made it through the tough time. I'm gonna tell you something. One of the things I love about my car, and I like my car. My car's decent. It's all right. It ain't the best car in the world, but it's my car, and I appreciate it.
Does it have a name?
Nah,
do you have a name for it?
No, I don't do all that, man. That maybe the thing got a heartbeat. You got a name, got a heartbeat. He ain't got no heartbeat now.
Do you tell it? Do you talk to it sometimes?
Get over that hill. But my
there
thing
you go. See,
I'm gonna tell you something. About my car. The thing I like best about my car, and this might sound a little weird to you, but the thing I like best about my car is the rear view mirror. That mirror that rear view mirror. The rear mirror you look in when you're driving.
Yes,
that's what I like. I like best about my car because if I know if I look in that rear view mirror, I take my eyes and I look in that rear view mirror, I promise you, whatever is behind me is behind me. Pain, suffering, whatever it is that is in my rear view mirror, I'm not going to turn around. I'm not going back to it. I'm not going to hold on to it. I'm not going to let it occupy my mind, my body, my soul, and my spirit. I'm not, because it's behind me. It's in my rear view mirror. And that's why I love my rear view mirror, because that's hard to say, rear view mirror. You say it a lot of times, you might get tongue tied. But my thing is, that's why I love that rear view mirror, because all that stuff is behind me.
May I say something?
I've driven off and I've left it. I left it right there where it is. Yeah, you can say something. Yeah.
Okay, that rear view mirror. I love the analogy and everything else, but I can't remember the name of that particular movie, but the rear view mirror also warns you of things ahead. For example, you drive here.
Don't take my story and turn it negative, man. Don't turn my
story.
I'm
not going to turn it negative. I'm not going to. Hey, Brother Leonard, I ain't going to. What's the name of that movie, man?
I don't know, but it sounds like you're going to go in a whole different direction.
But it makes you change lanes.
My thing is this right here. I'm trying to get people, like I said, some positive and a positive outlook, man. And it sounded a little bit like you're about to go to the. Go ahead, don't say what you're gonna say, brother.
Yeah. When you're driving on the road, especially here in Atlanta, knowing that the stuff behind you and the rearview mirror is there, you do not follow behind the truck. I mean, the truck that has the logs on it. You move over to the next lane and pass that truck. Am I right, Brother Leonard? You've seen that movie. Am I right? You don't want no accident. Just, I see what happens in the rearview mirror. I'm gonna move to the next lane and pass this truck with the logs on it.
The movie you're talking, your movie I think you're thinking of, it, Final Destination. And
yes.
See how that thing works. But you again, why are we gonna talk about death, man? We're gonna talk about people.
That's not death, man. That's like avoiding.
If that log come off that doggone truck and go through your car and hit you in your car, you're gonna die. No, that's it. Now, come on, man. If that law, what's the purpose of you? Hold on, Mo. Now listen to me. What's the purpose of you talking about that law?
It's because you talked about the rear view mirror, right?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. What's behind you?
Okay.
So you look at what's in front of you also, and if you see one of these trucks with them logs on it, change lanes and pass the truck because
Wow.
you've seen what is behind you before, and you don't want the log or have that opportunity or a chance, so you gotta dip and dive.
What's gonna happen? What's gonna happen with the log? What's I'm asking you, what's gonna happen with the log though? You say you don't want to take.
I don't care. I don't want to be anywhere near the log. God gives you warnings too. Get away from the log. In the back of your mind, sometimes listen to the back of your mind. Don't follow behind the log truck. That says that if you follow 500 feet behind, we are not responsible for damage to your car. Move.
Okay, Mo. Okay, Mo. That's the direction you want to go in. And okay, Leonard. Good morning, sir. How you doing this morning?
Good morning, Raheem, and the Morning Glow family.
Leonard,
Leonard, first of all,
I know.
Good morning. I got to give you the preview because all I know is somehow in less than 10 minutes, you and Mo is going at it. What could be so? What question could be so heated? Good morning, Mr. Bird.
We're talking this morning, man, and I told Mo, and you're gonna go back and look at it and laugh. But I told Mo, we was talking about talking about positive things, and Mo he painted this picture. I said, Mo, let me stop you right there, man, because man, I tell you. You making me depressed, man, and I'm sure you're probably making some you're talking about all this horror, so you're making some of the listeners depressed. And then you look at the chat on the side, and you can see what James said, laugh out loud, because he was laughing at what I was saying, because and James, if you're available, call in, brother. I want to hear you. I don't want to speak for you. Call in. You know the number 508-924-3521. I said, brother, you making everybody depressed, man. Talking about suicide. He said, I ain't said nothing about suicide. I said, no, you didn't say it. I didn't either. But you painting a picture. You got these people depressed this morning, man. Come on. And that's why we got into the story about the rear view mirror, because that's something positive. And then he took that story and started talking about a log on the truck coming off the truck, Final Destination. And you know what the movie I seen Final Destination 1, 2, 3, and 15. They had about 30 of them, and all of them was surrounded by death. Death coming back and getting you. You can't escape death. Death's gonna come back and get you. That was the premise of that movie. You cannot.
And that inspirational message was brought to you by Mobar.
Exactly. That's right. Exactly. I must say, and it's Mo Barnes with its subsidiary brand of the African Sausage Company, bringing African sausage to this country for more than 400 years.
Oh, Mo, calm down. The whole thing around that movie was you cannot escape death. Death's gonna come back and get you.
Well, I actually turned off the movie after a while.
And you gonna refer to the movie that you didn't even look at. God almighty.
No, I saw it.
Hold on. Oh, let Leonard talk. Hold on, Mo. Let Leonard talk. Leonard, go ahead, brother.
I mean, can we just pick up from Good Morning?
Yeah, let's start there, man. Please.
Now, propose to me the same proposal that set Mo on fire.
No. Leonard, you saw me.
It was my weekend, man. It was my weekend.
Well, don't call it in everybody else's week. God don't mind.
Just saying, that seemed like it was a lot for so early.
Yeah.
That's a lot
there was a shooting around the corner from my house.
See,
where my son goes to the corner store. And just stuff going on in the neighborhood. Okay. And that's what started it off. Woosah.
Mo. Good luck.
I'm a black belt in Shinru Karate.
Okay, that's good, but we ain't asked you about that, brother. Hold on.
I was giving him.
You can tell Mo, you can talk about anything you want to talk about, Mo, but let us ask you first, man. Let us ask you. Hey, let us say, oh Lord, James. Good morning, sir. How
good morning, y'all.
Hey, James, I'm gonna ask you this question, brother. And James, I know you're gonna be honest. I know you are. So I was gonna say tell the truth, but I already know. James, was that a little depressing to you, brother? Was that a little depressing hearing that?
Oh, yeah. Whole lot.
He said a little bit. A whole lot. God almighty.
Hold on, I'm trying to get my therapist online now because y'all hurt me.
Mo, Are you gonna talk over everybody every time somebody say something more?
No, I'm trying to get my therapist. I'm on
Okay, well, go ahead. You ain't gotta say it out loud. Go ahead and do it. Go ahead and do it.
I'm joking.
I know you are. James, go ahead, brother.
Yeah, and like you said about truck, I drive truck every day.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so I done seen a whole lot in the front, side, and back.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like what you said about the rear view mirror. That's true.
Mm-hmm. Was that was that a little more enlightening than the death part, than the death? Oh Lord, Jesus! Conversation we had this morning.
You better stop calling them.
A whole lot. I was asleep, but that woke me up.
Mm-hmm. Wow, yeah. Boy. And see, my thing was, and I just wanted to know, because I know you was listening. Go, you usually come on soon. We come on, you be there, and I appreciate you, brother. I really do. And I just want to know, was I want to know, was it depressing to you listening to it, man? And you answered that, you say,
wait a minute.
Especially driving.
Mm-hmm. 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 Wow, Leonard.
Now, early in the morning.
Too early in the morning. Now, Leonard. Now that you heard what the viewers and one of our viewers has said, what do you say to that, Leonard?
I still have no context about your question. I've heard a little bit about it.
No, it wasn't a question. I was asking how was your weekend, and then he went into the stuff.
I mean, that's what happens when you ask people how's their weekend.
But my thing is, Leonard, good Lord, don't. It's Monday morning. My thing was, we here to give people to uplift them, start them off on a good note, give them something positive, and watch this. Hey, did we do that this morning, James?
Oh yes.
See,
did we do that? My part did that, as well as Mo's part. Was it positive?
Can I make a comment?
Huh? Go ahead, James.
Yeah. Yes. Some of it, yes.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Some of it wasn't.
Some of it wasn't.
Mm-hmm.
Mo, you got Mo. Come on, man.
I'm just asking a question.
Mo, hold on, bro.
I'll put it in private message.
You step, yeah, okay, cool. You stepping on everybody every time somebody talk. Don't do that, brother. Give everybody respect to have their opinion as well. But go ahead, James.
Damn, Big Red. I'm sorry. Don't slap me.
Apology, all the other stuff came in.
Mm-hmm. Then all the other stuff came in.
But, all right.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
It woke me up.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Good deal. Leonard, talk to me, brother. Mo, come to you next.
All right. Well, other than that, I'm assuming that today is going to be a great day for someone.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not even sure you and Mo's exchange and what it has to do with a rear view mirror or whatever. But good morning to everybody. Anyway, we'll be praying for Mo and his issues, of course. But what would you like to say was the point, Mr. Question Asker?
Wow. But like I said, now we on a better note. Now we're on a positive note. We're moving forward. Go ahead, Mo. What's on your heart, brother?
Oh man, it's like the weekend is a catharsis for people. Okay, especially a church and putting their load on, and I appreciate the positive message rooted in religion and the gospel and everything else. But not everybody went to church, and some had other ways to deal with things. And I don't think I think I've mentioned it to you before. I mean, one of the people, Tom Joyner and J. Anthony Brown, got in trouble with this whole same subject of slaves dealing with the troubles and stuff and everything else. And so the first slave stand-up comedian was Kunta Shecky Green. And he would come out there and go, how are you? How are you? How are you? Hey, is this chain on? And I see you have a captive audience here tonight. So you got to look at both sides. And also, I'm not morose. I'm not in Lamentations or anything like that. But that particular skit that Tom Joyner did, caused the NAACP to give him a letter of condemnation.
They're trying to get me to join the NAACP, man. I don't know if I want to join or not.
No, join your local branch.
Yeah,
They'll call it a chapter. Always join it because you don't have a voice, period, unless you are in it, period. You can criticize, but if you don't get involved, then you don't have a voice.
But see, my thing is, and I may look at this thing a little differently. I don't have to be a part of another organization in order to have a voice. I think we already have a voice. It will probably add to the voice that we have, or we may add to their voice as well. But it doesn't mean that you don't have a voice if you elect not to join an organization like that or others. I think you still have a voice.
You always have a voice, but when you have 5,000 voices acting together on a local election for a school board person and maybe against that school board person, then that voice united becomes more powerful. You have to have a united voice. You can't do it all on yourself. Otherwise, you're just a loner with a voice.
Okay. Let me ask you this question. As powerful as this man is, and love this brother, man. Obama, Barack Obama. If he was not a member of an organization, NAACP, whoever it is, he wasn't a part of the organization, but he came to a meeting about whatever it is. Do you think, and 5,000 people, sticking together doing this thing, do you think that him being who he is could go there and make his comment and it would be more impactful than the 5,000?
Are you talking about President Obama or just Obama?
Well, Barack Obama, I don't know if there was two. I know.
Okay, so let's talk about, I'll mention something. And the fact of the matter is, yes, it did happen. He was an organizer in Chicago and organized the voices and changed stuff that was happening in Chicago. Okay. And then he later became senator and then president.
That's not the question I asked you though. I say if Barack Obama today, NAACP was at a rally or something like this, and they were speaking out, saying whatever they want to say, and then wasn't really making any leeway. If Barack Obama came, he's not a member of the NAACP. I don't know if he is, but I'm just for the sake of the question. If he's not a member of the NAACP or any other organization, but he came to that meeting and they allow him to get on the mic and he said whatever it is that he said one way or another, do you think it's going to be more impactful? Do you think more people can listen to him than the 5,000?
Yes, absolutely yes, because he's proven he's worthy.
And see, that's my whole point right there. We have to create our own voice. We don't have to join in. I don't have to be a part of an organization. I don't have to be a part of. I think we all have a voice on here. I think we all have a voice, and we're going to take that voice to a whole different level. In the next couple, by the end of the week, we'll be taking it to a whole different level because we would have expanded to people's living room, so they can be able to watch us in their living room every day. We hopefully putting the final touches on that thing today or tomorrow, and when people go in the living room, boom, go on and Roku, and we're gonna DKM gonna be right there beside CNN, right beside all the other networks, all the other quote unquote powerful networks. That gives us a voice. So we have to be very what's the word I'm looking for? We have to be very I don't want to say knowledgeable, but we have to be very intentional. Lack of a better term, intentional as to what we put out there, and we have to be responsible for what we put out there because our voice is going to be heard in a much larger scale. Leonard, what do you say about that? Do you think Barack Obama, him being who he is, not being a part of an organization, would be just as powerful? His voice could be just as powerful.
Well, I think I just don't think about him like that in that context. I think about the fact that what he represents is what speaks louder than anything. He represents a collective when he speaks, not himself, which is why he has a great appeal. And because he's done the work that he's done, he's able to have that impact because he knows what it is to organize. He knows what it takes to make a change. He knows exactly how to do it. So he's a professional. He's what people, academics would call a transactional or a transformational type of leader.
There you go.
And so he's able to do that because he knows where it's at on the grassroots as well at the top of the level as well. So he's far more impactful. But, I'm going to let you continue down this road to see how far you want to go with it before it becomes a bit controversial.
Well, I don't know if it'll even become controversial because and this is gonna be something I'm about to say right now that a lot of people are not going to like. It's not gonna be a popular thing to say, but Trump has the same impact. There's a lot of people that would believe anything that this man say, and we know who he is. We know who he is, and we know what he represented. It's certainly not the same thing or the same level of moral ethics, values that Obama has. It's not.
Well, the difference is what he say. You can have a well-known fool say something, and he's well known, and people listen. But what we're talking about is fools following another fool. So the standards are extremely low.
But is the impact of what he say? Yeah, I hate to say it, the same in a different. It
can't be this. A lot of people like to say same and different at the same time. Not sure about that, but it's definitely a call to those who support him. The dynamic is the number of people that support the type of character he has, and those that support the type of character that Obama has, and the statements he makes is completely opposite those statements that a Trump would make.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's not the same conversation. And for you people who want to say they're the same and everything's the same, no, you're ignorant. Next.
Well, my thing is this, and you're absolutely right. It's not the same. You're going to go to Motul. It's not the same, but I'm saying the impact of people following what he say is the same because of the fact that people, this guy got 34 felony convictions, and they're still talking about he's the best candidate for president. He's the one I'm gonna put my vote behind. I'm gonna do it. Come on, man.
But that's
what is it gonna take for you to see this man don't have your best interest at heart? Go ahead.
It's not about their best interest. That's a whole different conversation for those on that side of the coin. It's not about best interest at all.
Should it be?
It should be, but it's not.
Okay.
Best, positive, what's great, what benefits the majority of the people. That's not his message.
At all.
No. So his message appeal to those just like him. And you can refute it all you want and blah, blah, blah. Like I always caution a woman that all men are dogs. Then inadvertently, that would kind of make you a bitch, wouldn't it?
Hey.
So you have to be careful about what you say, how you say it, because it may mean something to different people. Yeah, trust me now, you like to fish.
Yeah.
And you put the bait on there and you throw it out.
Yeah.
You don't know what's going to come back.
But Leonard, you know what though? But you know what though, Leonard? I feel so good. I know something is coming back though.
But sometimes you throw something back.
Yeah, I put it back in the water.
Exactly, because it wasn't what you wanted. So that's the way you have to look at it. Bait. Bait. It's a huge academic term. Bait and switch.
Bait and switch.
Yeah, it's a marketing strategy.
Is that what Trump do? Bait and switch.
Pretty much. That's what a lot of them do. That's why everybody that used to be with him ain't with him no more.
A lot of them locked up. They can't be with him.
Exactly.
A lot of them locked up. Go ahead, Mo. What's on your heart? A lot of them locked up.
Well, I'm not going to get into it, and this is not a advertisement necessarily. For my undergrad studies at Morehouse. Studying political science, but meeting the people that we did. And one of the things that Leonard said, that a very well-known diplomat, he's called the Jack Bauer of the diplomatic world, and many people don't know who he is, spoke to us. And he talked about a transformative figure. And the transformative figure, it doesn't matter where you're at, whether it's here in the U.S. or even in the Middle East. it's to the point where I had asked him a question about, what if they decided the Gazans are going to be nonviolent? And he said it would take a transformative figure like a person like King rising out of that. But like what happened this past weekend, I don't know if the audience is caught up on the news, to rescue those 4 Israeli hostages. They killed 200 people, mostly women and children. Okay. So when we look at a person like Trump, who's transformative within the ideology of his party, all the things that goes into that, and we look at a transformative person, we can't necessarily say that Biden is transformative, but we look at a transformative person like Obama. Obama was transformative, period. He changed the direction. And because of the oligarchy in the Republican Party, they fought it every inch of the way. They even stated, what's the guy who looks like the turtle? Mitch McConnell, is it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I don't know, brother.
Yeah, Mitch McConnell. He said, we're going to fight everything that Obama is doing. That's their duty as Republicans. So, when we're talking about transformative figures, and you mentioned, could Obama have the same impact? Yes, because there's a part of us that we believe as Christians that God touches some people. Let me tell you something. God touched Barack Obama, and we don't see that, even with the loss of his mother-in-law, Marion, of Michelle's mama. They didn't cover that in the news. They would everything else. I mean, this woman was the grandmother who helped raise those kids in the White House, who told Michelle Obama, don't be yelling at that man and throwing the stuff out on the front lawn. You're trying to make him lose his job. I'm joking. That was a stand-up comedian who said that. Mm-hmm. But it was the Black grandmother who was there, the Black mother figure who helped guide them through all their difficulties, everything. Come on. Your teen daughter is out and she's smoking not a joint, but a cigarette. And every news organization is out there looking at her, looking at what she's wearing and everything. And you're trying to make them, give them as a best life as possible. What more? So, within our life as Black folk, could we ask from these people? No scandals in the Obamas. Ain't no, he turned in everything. Even it's like, come on, girls, give up the coloring books and the crayons. You can't keep them. They're all gone. Mm-hmm. And I'm not saying, no one said Obama kept any secret documents. Mm-hmm. Wow. And I think that's important that we start looking at not painting in such broad strokes about everything, especially with transformative figures, but looking at the excellence. Don't let the perfect defeat the good. You're what Obama said that, and he quoted somebody else was saying that. With your next step, don't let the perfect defeat the good. Mm-hmm. You eat your elephant. How do you eat an elephant, Raheem?
One bite at a time, I was told.
There you go. Mm-hmm. There you go. Mm-hmm. That's good, it for me.
Toussaint, good morning, sir. How you doing this morning? The wise man.
Somebody said, what are you talking about?
And hey, Toussaint, but you
eating watermelon? I mean, y'all eating elephants now?
Man, look here. One bite, salt and pepper and hot sauce, brother. Salt, pepper, and hot sauce.
What?
Yeah. Salt.
Y'all must be from mid-Africa.
We from Opelousas.
Eating what now?
Mo.
I don't know what he was eating. Elephant. Oh, elephant. Oh, okay.
I had to mute more line because Mo ain't gonna stop. I had to mute his line and tell come back to him because Mo gonna jump in every time somebody say something, man. But Toussaint, what do you say, man? You being who you are, there's a lot of people that look up to you and admire you for who you are and what you do. I mean, stuff that you in the community, stuff you do for the church, feeding, man, how many people you feed this weekend?
I don't know, like 200-300.
200 or 300 people. To me, that's powerful. That's absolutely powerful that you're able to do that. Do you need to be a part? And I'm going back to a part of the conversation that we had earlier about them wanting me to join the NAACP, and Mo said that I very well should do that because it will give me an additional. Well, he said to give me a voice. I ain't gonna say additional. He didn't say additional. He said to give me a voice. Do you need to be a part of an organization to have a voice, Tucson?
Wait a minute. Part of who organization?
Well, we're speaking of the NAACP.
Oh, I'm a part of that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I might not be as active as I need to be.
Mm-hmm. But do you need to be a part of that to have a voice?
No, me.
Yeah.
No, I mean no.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Mm-hmm.
No. All you need is a presence,
mm-hmm.
and you got a voice. You can't sit on the couch and have a voice.
Mm-hmm.
You show up. If they got a meeting, show up for it.
Mm-hmm.
At least you'll have an opinion. They'll let you say something. Even if they just let you introduce yourself.
Mm-hmm.
They'll do that.
Mm-hmm.
But what you saying? I got to be part of somebody or the NAACP to have a voice, or who? What you saying?
Well, I understand what he was saying, and he wasn't saying anything wrong, but he was saying that you have to be a part of NAACP because it'll give you a voice. Because I see they've been after me for a long time. They just sent me something last week about joining and this and that, and I just never did it. Not that I didn't want to join, I just never took the time to do it. But he was saying that if I did join, it will give me a voice. And I said, well, I don't need to be a part of it. I don't need to be a part of an organization to have a voice. I already have a voice. We have a voice.
Okay, let me just say something. There's no discredit to the NAACP or any entity, but just sitting around drinking coffee and Coke and cookies just because so you can say you could have a meeting. We need to be doing a little bit more than that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying.
Is that counterproductive?
It depends on what it depends on the charter or the chapter or charter or whatever, the area that you're in, because some of them, and here, let me say this. I know some NAACP. I guess it's the charter chapter, whatever it is. They don't have but a few men.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then, and no disrespect, and I appreciate it because it's always been like that. But they got more Caucasians in there than us.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm saying to myself, what the world is really going on right here?
Mm-hmm. Who y'all represent?
Because and I don't know what.
Be like, who y'all represent?
But exactly. My point is that okay, you got a voice in there, but the agenda of the chapter charter, however you want to call it, I don't know. It depends on who you got there. They got a different agenda that ain't got nothing to do with the real purpose of the NAACP.
Mm-hmm.
So all you got a voice in is of what you might want to see done, but they got so much other things that's being done that don't mean a bunch of nothing.
Mm-hmm.
That you're like, I didn't know the NAACP was like this.
Mm-hmm.
But that's not. I said that because that's no discredit to the NAACP because they have a purpose. But we've gotten, just like every other entity, we've gotten so far away from the focus of what we're supposed to be doing. All we're really doing is gathering on a monthly basis or whatever. Every time we got a special call meeting, and doggone, we eating more than we doing anything else.
Wow.
Tickets.
Yeah, exactly. Leonard, what?
Myself, come on now, we got to be doing more than that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, exactly.
I got a voice right here.
Yeah.
I'm just, without all of that, I got a voice because my voice is silent because I don't like talking. I like doing.
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
That's how I use my voice. I do it.
Leonard, what do you say to that? He said he have a voice, and it's not all about speaking out. He says all about his voice is more on the lines of action. Is some of the organizations voiceless in regards to action?
No, it just depends on what's the mission of their organization. I tell a lot of people, a lot of folks, and I'm just gonna go ahead and throw the rock. A lot of folks just want you to do stuff their way. And you gotta do nothing your way. That's why you go find out what somebody else is doing, and you'll find out what impact you may have. Now, Tucson is a pastor. He's leading a group of people. That's his scope in that area. So one, he talks to them about getting things done. I know one lady, her car used to stop here in my neighborhood. Yeah, I can push it by myself, but I'd rather have some help.
Yeah.
So if you're gonna do something, I tell people get in where you fit in. A lot of people just like to sit around and criticize. I think that's what Tucson is more on that line. He'll go do something. He just ain't gonna sit around and talk about, I sure wish somebody did this. I'm not gonna mention nothing to you I wouldn't do myself. Matter of fact, if I want you to do something, you probably gonna see me doing it. You know what I'm saying? That make a little bit more sense, right? That's the example of style. Let's do this together. People can be great all they want to, but 1 point rarely wins the game. You need a whole bunch of points. Mavericks ain't have enough points last night to win. They had a lot of points.
They had a lot of points,
but they didn't have enough to win.
They fell short. They fell short.
Right. So at some point, folks, it's not that we don't have image. It's not that folks are smarter or better. They just better organized than you. And one thing about some people is they hate organization, and that's why their lives is in chaos. And they try to put that on everything, and they take it where they go. All types of bad habits. So the collective is for your benefit. That your elected representative don't just represent one person. They represent everybody in that district. Guess what? They even represent you if you don't vote. How about that? Just because you live where you live.
Yep.
What they say and they input determines the resources that come to your community.
And speaking of that, Leonard, we bypassed. We kind of got a little sidetracked this morning. We didn't do our political talk. What's going on in the political arena this morning or this week?
Well, the same old thing, something unheard of before, like y'all president got to go holler at his probation officer today. Wow. Think about it. He got to go talk to the probation officer for pre-trial, for pre-sentencing.
Ex-president, yeah. He can
think about that.
That's a conversation that's never been had.
34 count convicted felon president got to go holler at his probation officer today. Prior to being sentenced, because y'all know he gonna mess this probation up, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Probably messed it up already. When he walk in the door, he gonna mess it up.
Right.
When he walk in the door.
That's what this is about, because this is uncharted territory. I mean, if some of you was around, you older folks, definitely call in and talk to us about how you felt when Nixon was facing his issues. If we have some listeners that old. Talk exactly about how that occurred. Nixon kind of just, I'm wrong, and faded out. Because he knew he was wrong and he had been convicted, and that was it. So with the respect he had for the American people in the position, he moved away from the situation. He got out of the spotlight. He took his licks.
And dealt with it from there.
Not so this time. So that's going on, which is very brand new, and of course, it's a lot of conversation. But we also have to look at other things on, like Mo mentioned about, the conflict in Israel.
Mm-hmm.
That's going on, and you still have protests and things going on as well. However, the changes you see, war to me has always been, I can't think of the word right now. The irony of it all.
Mm-hmm.
We at war, but in order to keep our war going, we'll let you bring some food to the people.
Mm.
We'll let you do, but you're still at war though. Resolve the war, you resolve this issue of people starving and not being able to get supplies and all these types of things. So you have to look at politics in a certain way, and it can't be narrow-minded and biased. Yeah, a lot of people come on and their main criticism, I don't talk about politics because this. No, you don't talk about politics because you probably embarrassed of your position.
Mm-hmm.
I won't fool with a man that don't talk about politics and religion.
Mm-hmm. And those are two things that a lot of people say that they don't want to talk about.
Exactly, because they're not stable enough to defend some of the things they say. Or you say more foolishness like how great Trump is and how great his messages are, and they so positive, and it's going to be a great America based on his plans and policies and programs that he has that benefit so many of the American people.
Wow. And they believe that.
That's what, yeah, but it's all good when she naked and you high.
On that note, let me go to Tucson. Tucson, what's on your heart, man? It's all good when she's naked and you high. What happened when the high go down, or you wake up the next morning and look beside you? You thought you had Halle Berry.
Want to cut you? Now you want to gnaw your arm off.
Wait a minute, that's a man.
She looked like Shrek.
Some of y'all go wake up and realize it's a man.
Good Lord. Well, no, we got a problem now. Somebody dying in here.
Like I love it. She like ready to sing the Hakuna Matata. My God is the monkey and he's a girl.
Y'all something else.
I'm sick of them. I'm sick of them, man. I'm a very good, kind-hearted, nice-going guy, but when it's time to fight, it's time to fight, cuz.
Yeah.
For real. You ever had somebody just say so much to you that if they don't get out your face, you let them know, if you don't leave me alone, I'm gonna hit you in your face.
Yeah. Look at this your last warning shot. Go on about your business.
I don't want to hear nothing else you got to say. I would listen, but I've given you a chance, and you still the same fool that started this conversation.
Wow. I'm good. We're gonna switch up out of this right here. We're gonna
Lord have mercy. Look at and start talking about nothing and trying to prove it.
And getting loud.
Prove nothing. You ain't talking about nothing. And you're trying to prove nothing. With a plain old dry, dumb conversation that don't make no sense whatsoever. It only sounds good to you and the people you hang with. And all of y'all sound alike. And it's foolish. But you're standing on foolishness trying to prove truth.
I got a topic for y'all this morning. I got a topic.
Be stupid. I'm sorry.
No. Go ahead. Go. No. Finish your thought, brother.
I got beside myself.
No, finish your thought.
I got beside myself. I'm just tired of stupidity, trying to be smart. I mean, we are. What did y'all say? The candidate, the ex-president, candidate for future president, has to see his probation officer.
Yeah.
What the heck are we doing?
Where we at? Well, you know, he got good laws and he got good policies. Policies? Come on, let's not talk about policies. Let's start the conversation again. He's going to see his probation officer this morning. Well, you know, let's stop the conversation.
Yeah, because I could be. It's a Monday today too, so I'm especially ugly on Mondays.
Start off the week.
You just got out of church and saying hallelujah, and now you're stupid.
I'm just saying. You ought to realize he the one driving the fancy car, wearing the fancy suits, and you on your knees in the alley.
Hold, mama. Let me we're gonna switch it. We're gonna switch it up, and I'm going to go to Annie from Mississippi. Annie from Mississippi. Good morning, young lady. How you doing this morning?
Good morning. Great morning. God morning.
I'm gonna ask you the question that we were just talking about. How do you feel about your ex-president, 45, having to report to his probation officer this morning? What does that say about where we are as a country? He's running for president now, but he got to report to his probation officer this morning.
It's ludicrous. America, like I said before, have dropped the ball. We've lowered our standards. We have forgotten about values. We've forgotten about, what it takes to be a leader, especially a leader, with that much power to be over the entire country. We have dropped the ball. It's sad. It's really, really sad that people are still chanting for him to be the next president, and it's just sad. The morals are gone. Everyone is going through the motion right now, and it's like a crazy place. The values are not there anymore. When it comes down to certain people with certain money, supposedly, the morals, they always come down. The standards are dropped. But it's sad. Can you imagine if it was any other president, especially Barack Obama, that were doing all this craziness, all this crazy stuff? From the moment Barack Obama became president, all he done was try to prove himself to people, trying to prove himself. He went above and beyond my expectation, and many of theirs as well. Yeah. I mean, the insurance that he put in place for people, for low-income people, is still being used today. And all this man done was cause chaos. All he done was lie. All he done was try to get Russia, to get everything all kissing up to that man. It's just sad. It's just sad. We have really lowered the bar on being a leader. So, if we can look beyond what he do and let him do what he want to do, okay, why are there fellows out there in jail that that can't vote? They have been to prison for selling something like dope, but you can't vote. Why is that?
Yeah.
Why is there people out there who didn't commit a murder, who didn't commit, who didn't kill anybody, but they yet can't vote? The morals and the rules change when it comes to certain people. And it's really, really pathetic. He wants to get up in that office again, and he wants to get rid of everything they done to him. He already said he's keeping a list of the people, keeping a list of the judges, everybody, fake news. The other day, he told the biggest lie, the biggest thus far. He said that he wasn't the one that said lock her up. When he was interviewed by one of those Fox people, he said, I didn't say that. Never said that. I never said lock her up. And he was the one that started the whole lock her up deal.
Yeah.
And he said it wasn't him. He said, I never said that. Never said that. All he do is lie, and they just, okay. And it's fair, Raheem.
Good, and it is. Cassandra, good morning. How you doing this morning? Cassandra Alexander Green, you there? Cassandra, wake up and go to sleep. Wake up and go to sleep. Cassandra, are you there?
I'm here.
Okay, good deal, good deal. What do you say about that, man? On 45 have to report to his probation officer this morning. 34 convicted felon, 34 times. He's running for the president of the United States of America, what they say is one of the greatest countries in the world. He's running for the president, but he have 34 convictions and got to report to his probation officer this morning. Cassandra, have we lost our vision? Like Andy said, have we lost our focus? Are we off track?
Off track. The train then ran into the ground and people killed over. It's just ridiculous. I never thought this country could drop this low.
Mm-hmm.
And then they always talking about, what people do and how, great the country is. Those are the people that bother me the most right now.
Mm-hmm.
The people that are pushing this man to be, again, the president of this country with no thought for what he has done. The convictions that he has had,
mm-hmm.
all of the stuff he got still coming up, it's like none of that matters. It's
mm-hmm.
like, how could that not matter? And you're supposed to be over an entire country.
Well, Cassandra,
I'm with Annie. I'm just like, I'm stumped.
Well, Cassandra, the people in his camp and him, he said, this is just a witch hunt. They're out to get me. They don't want me to be president no more because they know I'm gonna do the best job that ever president ever did, and I'm gonna be the best president you ever seen before. And they don't ever want me to be. He says a witch hunt. He says a witch hunt.
Raheem. So all of these entities, all of these different groups of people that have sued him, that he has been. Everybody got together. Everybody decided that he is so, come on now. To me, you would have to be pretty ignorant to think that this kind of conspiracy could take place, whatever word how you want to pronounce it, could take place and nobody, come on now. It's ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
And the people that are promoting him, they're ridiculous. I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's no way, like Annie said, if this was Barack Obama or really just about anybody else, that's how I know it's demonic. I don't care what nobody says. Mm-hmm. That man is demonic. I said it before and I'm saying it again, because there is no way that people should be backing somebody with his background. He has no integrity.
Mm-hmm.
He has no integrity. He has no morals, no nothing. And quite frankly, that man don't give a rat's butt about anybody but himself.
Mm-hmm.
And what he wants.
Yep.
And he cannot wait in there to get back at all of the people that he said betrayed him.
Mm-hmm.
Him and his little party, like Marjorie, what are them? Marjorie Green, the one from Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
All of them are ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Wow. 508-924-3521. 508-924-3521. If you agree, you disagree, or however you feel about it, give us a call. Let us know. What do you say about this, man? The president, ex-president of the United States that's running for the new to be the new president is convicted 34 felonies, and he have to go. The person that's running for the president of the United States of America have to go and see his probation officer today. 34 felonies. Have we lost our vision? 508-924-3521. 508-924-3521. Leonard, talk to me. Leonard? Did we lose Leonard? Let me see here. We might have lost Leonard.
It's on camera.
There you go. Leonard,
okay.
Leonard, you okay with him?
You coming back now. Something happened with loading the site or something like that.
Oh,
But
okay.
it's exactly right. I like how Miss Cassandra put it, and that is a common consensus of individuals who are looking at this from a what's best for all Americans point of view. Biden is fighting for Americans. Trump is fighting for himself.
Mm-hmm.
He just wants revenge. He wants the ability to do whatever he wants, when he wants, and how he wants, to whomever he wants. He just wants the power. Nothing in the form of what's best for this nation at all. I remember prior to his first elections and in the events I was speaking on and things of that nature. Imagine if America was put on sale. He would be the auctioneer. Just to put money in his pocket. He wouldn't question the fact that dumping water in the oceans was killing people down the road, poisoning the rivers, allowing pollution. Because he doesn't care.
Yeah.
He don't really care. So we have to understand that this is what is at stake. This whole thing on wanting to stick your chest out about somehow you believe that everybody else needs to be punished and treated poorly except for you, and for some reason you think you're gonna get the payoff and he gonna be your friend. It's false. Like I say, you personnel, you struggling to make ends meet, doing the worst things you ever could do while he driving in the Cadillac around them corners making sure you at work. You see the references I've been drawing all morning. And I like how Cat Williams put it. Yeah, we gonna change the world while you getting on your knees and pulling his zipper down. That's what you look like supporting Trump.
Wow.
A whore.
Hey.
And you'll serve the devil just because you don't want to see nobody else treated better. You don't want to see nobody else successful. You don't want to see Black folks get college educations. You don't want to see those initiatives supported by diversity, equity, and inclusion go anywhere. You want to destroy the Office of Civil Rights, which sits in the Department of Justice to protect certain African Americans from certain types of harassment, disenfranchisement, and discrimination. And you walk around here black as pitch. You's a fool.
Wow.
That's what the old folks used to call you, a fool. Yeah, he beat you up and he did this and he left you and he had a baby with somebody else and you still back with him. That's what y'all look like.
Wow. How do you all feel about that? Is there any truth in that? How do you feel about that?
Like I'm trying to prove a point that's dull as hell.
Hey.
Don't make you ever sit and listen to them? Give them the benefit of the doubt once, just once.
Can't listen to them long.
And listen. And if it don't bother your spirit, then you on their side. That's all it is to it. Everybody else doing it. Everybody else doing it. You want to be popular. You want to wear your little red hat and everything. We used to have this saying, if the light on, business is open. A lot of people who maybe ain't been nowhere don't know what I'm talking about, but back in the day, turn a little red light on.
Little red light, yeah. Little red light on the porch. Up.
And in Europe, we used to ride around and that little red car that's pulled over on the side of the road. That means she open for business. With the light on, she open for business.
Go on in.
So you have to determine, is that who you want to be? Is that who you want to be? Is that who you want to represent you? Or are you just that hateful inside? That you trying to find a bigger hater to stand behind? Because you want to see it all go up in flames. That's what some people want. Some people want that. So they prophetic justification for Trump can make sense. You know, you got a lot of people, they prophetic justification. Prophetic justification makes you say stuff like black folks should have been slaves. It's God's will. That's prophetic justification. The devil is a liar, and I hope you get hung from the steeple.
Wow. Stay right there. Stay right there. Let me go to Tucson. Then we're going to switch up. We're going to go to the ladies. Tucson, what's on your heart, brother?
You know what it reminds me of? Look,
it
reminds me of when you say, Master done got us a new mule.
Lord.
I don't know why I thought about that. I don't even know. I must not have much sense.
Must not, huh?
We gonna fly now. Master done got us a new mule.
Come on, hey, Tucson, it's sad, but it's true.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
Come on, y'all.
Bragging about him having another head up on you. For his agenda. It ain't about you. You just a slave. You gonna be in the field from sun up to sundown. Still.
Yeah.
Just like you had the old mule with the new mule. You don't get it? But you know, he's nice and shiny mule. He's gonna be spreading the crap.
Lord.
You gotta speak gently. I'm only smiling, grinning. And you know that, you know, he better than Master Billy.
What?
On the plantation.
What? Okay.
He make me smile. He make me smile more. He's still raping you. I don't know why it just get me. Because it's like I can understand people that have had an agenda to bring you down for years, and you know it and you see it, and it's clear that they don't want you. It ain't about you, it's about them, to raise them up above you because they feel like they're superior and they can get away with certain things. But when you jump on the bandwagon, it just confuses me. But you come out, you got whips on your back, you ain't had shoes in a while, you got blisters on your feet, and you bragging about a doggone.
You trickle down economics.
He gonna brag it on a new mule. You gotta be kidding me.
Wow.
I ain't never seen nothing like it in my life. The people that have struggled and have had a hard time are looking at us and saying, shame on all of y'all. Make America great. If this is great America that we looking for, we going downhill quick, fast, and in a hurry.
Cassandra, make America great again. And if Mississippi coming to you next, make America great again. What exactly does that mean, Cassandra?
When y'all find out, somebody can send me an email or text or phone call, because I have no clue. I have no clue. Because the people, see, and that even that term, it doesn't scare me, but it's like, what the heck are people falling for? Especially people of color.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? How?
Dare you?
Okay, it's Monday. Okay, it's Monday. Okay, it's Monday. Okay, so Raheem, I can't, man. I can't, man.
Mm-hmm.
Are you?
Yep.
And you
I
see,
just haven't seen a time when it was great for people of color, especially black folk, colors, niggers, whatever y'all want to call yourself. When? Okay, let's just get the brass tacks. We're still trying to doggone get our civil rights to vote straight. They still fighting for us to vote. Are you kidding me? Great again? Shut your mouth, please, because your ignorance is coming out, y'all. Come on now. We are still, people of color are still fighting in this, black folk, let's just go there, black folk, let's make it plain. We're still fighting about our rights, getting our rights to vote, without having to struggle and man, how in a country that says freedom one for all and all for one? Oh no, that's the Three Musketeers. But you know, I'm just trying to figure. Listen, I'm still trying to figure this thing out. What the heck?
You can't. Wow. Only thing I can compare it to.
Okay, I'm sorry, y'all. I'm just these type conversations really make me angry because people keep acting like everybody has the same rights, everybody has the same justice. That's when America is great. That's when it will be great. When our young men don't have to worry about, and women don't have to, and older men and women have to worry about being killed just because they're black. That's when this country will be great. That's when it'll be great.
Wow. And if from Mississippi, what do you say?
When we're not being profiled, that's when we'll be great. Come on now, let's okay. Anyway.
Yeah. Annie from Mississippi, same question. What does it mean? Make America great again. Make America great again. Annie, what does that mean?
It doesn't mean anything, right? Hey, it's just something that he got up, you know, early one morning, just woke up and said something, and they ran with it. It don't mean nothing because, you know, America, first of all, have never been all that great. It's been better. You know, it's got a little bit better, but it's never been all that great. But in their minds, it means that the whites have control, the black people are, you know, are making are on a certain level of money, living in a certain neighborhood. That's what it means in their mind. It means that, you know, it's somewhat of a slave type thing to me. That's how I perceive it. I want to say this right here for any black person that's voting Republican. You know, they anytime Trump wants to get his crowd stirred up, he always mentions the border. He mentions that often, and we have to go back and look at this border thing because there's the thing. Whenever he was in office, he had two people that were collecting money from his supporters that were supposedly going to build the wall. It was a build the wall fund, they say. And they got the money and they stole it. They kept it. And one was arrested. One was a disabled veteran. The other one was Steve, whatever his name is. He got arrested. Trump got him out, you know, used his executive power and got him out. But these people today are still talking about making America great again and build the wall. On January 6th, nobody from the other side of that wall was on top of Capitol. Let's make it clear. On January 6th, we had the white supremacists, we had KKK with no sheets on their face because he gave them the boldness to take it off. We had all people that had hate in their heart. You know, we had all the Aryan Brotherhood, all this other stuff. We had those people up there. That's who we had up there. Those people up there doing what they want to do. So it's nothing about the wall on that day.
Wow. 508-924-3521. 508-924-3521. I'm ready to change the topic, but before I do that, and everybody please stay in place. I'm gonna play the commercial our spot about the cruise. We're still trying to get you all to come on this cruise, man. We got quite a few people that's already logged in, that's locked in. Got a few people, man. I'm real proud of, you know, the people that's already locked in. We got a few more spots. We want you all to come on out and have a great time. It's going to be June the 20th, June the 21st, I think it is. I get the date right. I mess up. But anyway, it's going to be 5 great days of cruising. Let's come together. DKM Media Group Cruise. Let's have a good time together. Let's come together and enjoy. Here we go. Let me play this real quickly, and then we'll come back, and we're going to switch the topic when we come back. So y'all bear with us just for a second.
Come join us on our DKM Media Group First Party Cruise. We will be leaving out of Tampa, Florida on June 21st, returning on June 26th. That's right, 5 amazing days of fun and entertainment. All this will take place in the year 2025. The cabins hold 2 people, and there is a $200 cabin fee. The fee of $200 covers both parties. You heard me right. Your deposit is a single $200 fee, and you can secure your cabin for you and your significant other. Then you have until March 15th, 2025 to pay the remaining balance. That is almost an entire year to pay the balance on this outstanding cruise vacation. Do I need to tell you that we are going to 2 different ports? Or should I mention the fact that we are going to be on one of the best cruise ships? I know you are surprised, but this is all true. Contact me today for all the details. You can contact me by email at myfamilybychoice@mail.com. That's myfamilybychoice@mail.com. Why aren't you taking out your credit card now?
Why aren't you taking out your credit card? You should have your credit card in your hand, calling me, saying like, I want to be on that cruise. I want to go out there and have a good time with y'all. It sounds like it's going to be so much fun, and it is. It's going to be an amazing time. So I want to invite each and every one of you, extend the invitation for each and every one of you. Get in contact with me. Send it to myfamilybychoice@mail.com. Don't do no Gmail and all that stuff. myfamilybychoice@mail.com. Say I'm interested in the cruise. I'm interested in the cruise. I would like to go. Give me some information on it. Okay? Just reach out. Let's make this thing happen. Cassandra Alexander Green. Cassandra, are you there?
I'm here.
Okay, good deal. Cassandra,
I'm trying to hit this mute button. The mute button. Go ahead.
Gotcha. We're going to switch up the topic right now. And Cassandra, we know that being a parent is very difficult. I think I heard Leonard say a lot of times on here, it don't come with a manual. You don't have a manual. And so it's very difficult to be a parent. But I want to go in a different direction right now. And how is it a tougher struggle? Let me ask you the question in that way. Is a struggle tougher if you are a teen parent? Because Cassandra, I believe you was one. So how difficult is it? It's tough on adults, grown people that's quote unquote supposed to be mature enough to handle the situation. But how much more of a struggle is it on teenagers?
Because I don't know about other teenagers, but I was a straight up dummy.
Wow.
Didn't know what the heck I was doing. Period. ... Didn't know. I was 15 years old when my son was born. 15. Pregnant from a gang initiation. That show I was stupid right there. Got folks that don't know what they talking about telling me you don't get pregnant on the first time. Boom, first time, done. So it is so hard. I cannot tell you. Back then, at least I felt like, and I'm just saying, and I don't mean no harm to nobody, but back then I was dumb as a bag of bricks about parenting. And I was ashamed because back then, at least young people that got pregnant out of wedlock, at least they were ashamed. The ones I knew.
Yeah.
And like you sort of like stayed inside most of the time. You tried not to get out there. Your belly wasn't showing. You know what I'm saying? It was like you realized that this isn't right. And there was a shame to it, and it should have been a shame to it. It should have been. So, listen, I had to work. I was in school and working after school trying to make sure that my son had what he needed.
Mm-hmm.
I lost friends because once I got pregnant, I wanted to do something, I wanted to make sure my son was okay. Listen, that was one of the hardest. I was depressed.
Mm.
The dad wasn't nowhere around. Most of these teen dads don't be once they done hit it and get it.
Yeah.
They have no interest
Mm-hmm.
in sticking with the young girl.
Yeah.
So it is extremely hard. That my son is now 50 years old.
Mm-hmm.
50.
Wow.
But those were some of the hardest years of my life. Being a teen being a teen parent.
Wow. Toussaint, what do you say to that, man? A lot of the young people out here, man, they think they big and bad and grown enough to go out there and lay it down, man, and do grown folk activities. It's hard on an adult. It's hard on grown people, man, mature people. It's hard, man. It's not an easy task to raise kids. But how much of a struggle is it on a teenager? What do you say to that, Toussaint?
I let them find out.
Mm-hmm.
And they experiment. But here's the thing. I think that a lot of grandparents take on the parent role when their kids make them errors, mistakes, experiment, whatever you want to call it. And they just let their kids go on with their life, and ain't nothing wrong with that. You go to college and go do whatever you want to do and party and do whatever you want to do. And I'll take care of the baby. The devil is a lie.
Mm-hmm.
You tell it, I said the same thing. I ain't doing it. Nope. No. You let them.
Watch this. Says the man that buy batteries for Christmas presents.
You doggone skip it.
Go ahead, brother.
Yeah. Matter of fact, for every toy you got that you put in that closet.
Yeah.
So you could have fun like the other kids.
Mm-hmm.
You go get all of them toys you bought through the year, take them out the closet, play with them. And by New Year's, you ain't going to play with them no more anyway.
Yeah.
So let's try it again next year.
Mm-hmm.
And when you want to buy fireworks, sure, let's go to the store. I'm going to show you something else. We're gonna go. We're gonna get there. We're gonna pick out whatever you want. Go ahead. Right. Okay, come on. Let's go back home. Get home, and let's go outside. Wait till it's dark. And you get it. You excited? Yeah. Okay. And let me see that fire. Okay. I set the whole bag of fire at the same time. Pop them all.
Boy, you imagine how them kids gonna be
watch it. Now let's go back in the house. Oh, daddy. But I mean, doggone, if you are wanting to be grown and you make grown folk decisions and a baby come out, that's not my baby.
Mm-hmm.
You mean to tell me I'm 60 years old, 60, 70, you got some older than that. Set their whole plan of retirement aside to start nursing all over again. And you can't get the milk. You can't supply the milk.
Mm-hmm.
But you mean to tell me you can't go nowhere and your child is having a ball while you taking care of your grandbaby? I'm sorry, but I'm sorry. I think, and I'm going to shut up, if the grandparents would start back up off of them, do like an eagle, back off of them, let them take care of I was going to shut up, but my niece, she made that error. But she got her master's.
Mm-hmm.
They said, she going to drop out of school and all of that kind of stuff. You didn't had a child and you ain't even finished. She sure did finish. And she was able to look at her 3 or 4 year old child and he said, "Congratulations, mama." So it can be done if the parents just back away and let them do it and raise their child. Because I ain't got no dog. My children grown.
Yeah, mine too.
I ain't gonna raise no grandchildren.
Exactly. 508-924-3521, 508-924-3521. Asking the question, how tough of a struggle is it for a teenager? We know how hard it is as adults to raise kids, but a teen parent, teen mom, teen dad, how hard is it on them? And if from Mississippi, what do you say to that? It's very difficult to raise kids as quote unquote mature adults, but is the struggle a lot harder if you are a teen parent? What do you say to that?
Before I answer that, I want to just tell you guys something that I went through with my first grandchild. My daughter was pregnant at the age of 16.
Mm-hmm.
And she hid it so well, Raheem. Her sister that she shared a bed with didn't even know it.
Wow.
Her mom, living in the same household, did not know it. My daughter was very active in school. No one, I had no clue. My daughter was wearing tight clothes, constantly wearing tight clothes. One day, this is how I know God is real. One day, I was going to go to work that day, but some told me, stay home. I didn't have no reason to stay home. I wasn't sick. I wasn't feeling bad. Wasn't having no car trouble, but the Spirit of the Lord said, stay home. I stayed there. About 12, somewhere around there, 1 o'clock, I got a phone call from the hospital. It says, Miss Malone, it was the accounting department. Miss Malone, how are you going to pay for whatever test that was done? And I said, what do you mean? She said, your daughter was here recently, and she had a test done. She said, we need to know if she have insurance or how we're going to pay for it. I said, what kind of test? So she paused for a moment. She said, Miss Malone, your daughter's pregnant.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow.
My world is spinning right now. I called the school. I asked the principal to go get my child out of class, to bring her to the office, because I'm going to call back. When I called back up there, I said, Tara, I say, the hospital called. And they told me you were pregnant. Are you pregnant? No. That's not true. No. I say, I'm on my way to the school to pick you up. We're going to the hospital in Thomasville. I need to know what's going on. I went to school. I checked her out. I took her to the hospital. On the way there, she's swearing. Something got mixed up. Something, trying to deny.
Mm-hmm.
So we got there, Dr. Sobambi, an African doctor. I told him what was going on. He said, well, let me give her a pregnancy test. But first he asked her, he said, when was your last period? She said, last month.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So he asked me to leave the room. He done what he had to do. Then he went back into the room. And then he called me into the room. And he said, Miss Malone, your daughter wants to talk to you about something.
Wow.
So he closed the door. She said, I'm pregnant. I could have screamed. But here's the kicker right here. She was almost in her 9th month.
What?
She was over 8 months pregnant. He can stay with me, Raheem. Stay with me. It gets worse, believe me. Okay, so I'm taking her home. They hadn't taken no prenatal vitamins. Hadn't taken any of that. I'm taking her home, trying not to fuss, trying to remain calm, trying to, sit back and rethink the situation, how we have to make adjustments because there's a baby almost here. But I asked my daughter, I say, what are you going to do? Had that baby came. And we didn't know.
Mm-hmm.
My daughter told me, she said, I was going to kill my baby and put it behind the house. That's what she told me. I was hurt to the core.
Wow.
And I said all that to let y'all know with these children that, she was scared to tell me, first of all. Mm-hmm. She was scared. She made a mistake. But we helped her. We gave this child the greatest love in the world, like I always do. She know that. But she was afraid to tell me this because I don't know. She was just scared. Mm-hmm. Children be scared. That's why a lot of times these, things happen because they'll be afraid to tell their parents what's going on. But I thank God for that day. And I thank God for that phone call because if that phone call never came here, my child would have been in prison.
Yeah. Yeah.
My grandchild would not have been here. But these children be afraid. They don't want to tell nobody about anything. So I can imagine the struggle. But as a parent, I did what I had to do. You know, that was my baby. You know, now she's a grown woman right now. But I want to give y'all the story to let y'all know, to make y'all aware that don't let your children be so afraid that they can't come tell you things. And when they make a mistake, don't pounce on them and make them feel bad. Just go from there and love on them, because we all make mistakes.
Wow. I was going to go to a couple of the fellas, but I got to go back to Cassandra right now. Cassandra, what did you hear in that, man? Because I know your heart. And she said she was going to take the baby and kill the baby and put the baby in the backyard. God stepped in.
I mean, yeah.
God stepped in on that one.
Go ahead.
I said God stepped in on that one.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. But when I tell you teen pregnancy is no joke whatsoever. And I didn't have a mother like Annie. Well, my mother was there, but my grandmother was raising us because my mother died. I applaud Annie for that. I was humiliated. I was hit. I was tormented during that pregnancy. I mean, there was nothing. It was like there was nothing that made me say, okay, hang in there. You can do this. You know, literally, I was by myself. I was by myself. Nobody saying, hey, okay, you made a mistake. You can recover from this. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to help you. You know, I had none of that. I was treated like trash. I was told what a whore I was. I ain't never gonna amount to nothing. I had a teacher that said, see, you ain't gonna never amount to nothing. You got a baby now. You really ain't gonna amount to nothing. I had a teacher. My homeroom teacher told me that. So I'm so grateful for women and families like Annie that stood by the young lady and helped her through it, because really that's what they need at that time. They need support, not tearing down. So I applaud you, Annie, and I thank God for anybody that stands with their child when they've made a mistake, because that's what they are. We were children. I was a child. Doing what I thought I was grown enough and bad enough to do, not because I just wanted to sleep, because I really didn't want to sleep with anybody, but because for me, it was gang activity. And it was this is what you have to do to stay in the gang. And I was the youngest member of that gang. So thank you, Annie, for supporting your daughter. It means a lot. But I never had that. Never had that. Not for a moment.
Wow. 508-924-3521, 508-924-3521. And I have to say this, man, for DKM Media Group and who we are. We're not condoning, we're not telling you to go out there and get pregnant as a teenager. That's not what we're saying. But what we are saying, and I know nobody that even came across, hopefully didn't come across any of the listeners in that way. But my thing, what we're saying is, if that does happen, we have to support them. And, you know, we have to be there for them, man. That's not the time. I don't think that's the time to beat them up, come down on them hard. They probably already feel bad enough. And you heard what Annie's daughter said. She hid it almost 9 months, almost up until the time for her to deliver. Hid it for 9 months and said what she was going to do with the baby. And thank God, for God, that he stepped in and made Annie aware of what was going on. Made Annie aware of what was going on. Leonard, we're talking about parenting, man. It's tough enough as an adult, as a seasoned adult. It's tough enough, but is the struggle any harder? You heard what was said earlier, man. Is it any harder on a teenager?
I'm really not sure from what point of view to look at it.
Do you think it's tougher to a teen parent? Is it tougher on a teen parent than it is on a mature adult, 25, 30 years old, whatever, have a child?
From the standpoint of wisdom and resources, yes, most definitely. Most definitely. But there's a lot of people messing it up at 30.
Yeah.
I struggle with it. I'm 53. I just happen to have a kid still under 21. So it's a struggle. I know I didn't want that as a team. I did not want that as a team. So I tried to limit my behavior as much as possible to try to control that outcome. You know, I'm the type to keep a few $100.
Yeah.
Just in case. I mean, that's just me. I'm gonna be prepared. You know, you can say whatever you want or whatever you like. I know the consequences
and what goes into it.
So I prepare in advance. If I'm gonna do wrong, I know it's wrong. And I automatically start thinking about the fallout. I had an older cousin. I used to blame all my bad habits on him. Before we did anything, you know what he would always say? Let's get our lie together first. Because you're gonna have to have a good lie when you get caught, just in case you get caught now.
Just in case.
Just in case. But see, we weren't ignorant. We knew what we was doing was wrong. So we made plans for if we got caught. That's a difference. When I've told you don't do this and I've told you don't do that, why am I surprised? Why are you so surprised at what happened? Obedience is so much better than sacrifice. To the point that when I had my first child, guess whose business it was? Mine.
Yours. Yeah.
I was a grown man. It didn't matter who had it. Regardless, if you had mine, I was going to have to take care of it.
Point blank period.
Point blank period. So before I went out there, I knew that could possibly happen. That helped to deter a lot of behavior. So I never had a desire to be a single parent. I couldn't have. My mother was a single parent. You know, a lot of people think you can just, I'm a single mother. My mother was a single mother too, because my daddy died. That made her a single mother. That didn't mean she threw her morals and her values out the window. She raised her kids the best way she could.
Yes.
She didn't have to teach us wrong because we could learn it on our own. So my brother, I always use him as an example because he has been a dad since he was 15 years old. I mean, their father. To this point right now, he's finally gotten to the point where the youngest is around 22 or so, 23. Whole life has changed from 15 to now. I said, be grateful to God that what was right was in you. So when you decided to do it, you knew what it was. When you got it together, when you got a second chance to make it right, you went about making it right, not making it worse. So it really depends on what can you say now about your past. Are you still there?
Yeah. Wow.
Are you still the same person?
Are you still living there?
Or are you now focused on what's next? Don't dwell on that which is negative. The story you should tell is the overcoming part of the story. I don't really want to hear a story if you ain't doing no better.
But see, the thing about it, and I can agree with you. You want to tell the victorious side of it, but there's a journey to get to that victory, though. There's a huge journey that a lot of times, man, some people fall to the wayside on and for whatever reason. But there is a journey.
Well, no, let's not leave it there because this is a Christian broadcast station.
Yes.
You know the reason. The reason is disobedience and sin. That's the reason. You cannot run from this. It is what it is, and it always has been. Ever since Adam, where y'all at? We hide.
Mm-hmm.
Why are you hiding? Because they know. And now they're ashamed. So we have to understand that. I remember they wouldn't let pregnant girls go to school with us.
Mm-hmm.
I remember when mothers was warning daughters. You got
Say
6 friends. 4 of them already pregnant. You keep hanging with them little girls.
Mm-hmm.
Guess what's gonna happen? Birds of a feather flock together. Mama, everybody, we're not talking about everybody. Because out of your 6 friends, the majority of them are pregnant.
No,
we're not talking about everybody, baby. We're talking about your 6 friends and 4 of them are already pregnant. 2 of them by the same boy.
Lord. Hold on.
So am I going to teach you or you going to teach me? One of the two.
Good deal. Stay right there for a second. Let me go to Ryan. Ryan, good morning, sir. How you doing this morning?
Doing good. How you doing?
Hey, doing good. Where you at, man? You don't like you at work?
I'm at Columbus right now.
Oh, okay. Good deal. Man, what do you say to this topic, man? We're talking about it's very difficult. It's very difficult as an adult, as a quote-unquote single or mature adult. I ain't gonna say single, but mature adult to be a parent, to raise kids. Is the struggle tougher on a teenager?
I think mentally it's tougher on a teenager.
Why you say?
Because they don't know nothing about nothing. Just being real. They don't know anything. They're still in the learning process, if you will. I mean, me myself as a dad, I'm in a world of trouble because I got 3 daughters. And each of them is completely different than the next one.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So my 14-year-old, she'll beat you up before she allow you to touch her. She got that tomboy attitude. She's looking to fight.
Yeah.
My youngest one, still in the Disney princess stage. But her mindset is going to always be in the Disney princess stage. So as a question asker, let me ask you, which one do you think I got to worry about the most?
Actually, both.
Both.
Actually, both.
You're right.
For different reasons, though. Yeah.
But the one that I have to pinpoint and make sure that she really understands is my Disney princess girl.
Yeah.
Because you're looking at them, the movies, they may seem wholesome, but they got them underlying messages in there. My tomboy, she might be attractive to a guy because she like chicken wings and sports. So, you know, and my oldest, she moving back in the house today, actually.
Wow.
She came home. But she a hard worker. She's smart. She book smart. She work at a hospital. She's successful. So I got to keep an eye on her because a bunch of deadbeats try to attach to her, trying to get that free ride.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's I think that's something that some parents fail at in life is remembering that each thanks, Leonard. That each child is different, and you have to go about teaching each child in a different way. I failed my oldest one, and I'm man enough to admit it.
Wow.
I tried to teach her the street way of what's going to happen and who's going to do this and what they're going to try to do. It didn't work. She didn't get pregnant, so I guess it worked somewhat, but she was active before she should have been. And had I approached it differently with her, maybe she wouldn't have been.
Mm-hmm.
But my tomboy, I kept it street with her. And she was propositioned by some dude she was chilling with. And she was like, no, I don't think so, and walked about the house.
Mm-hmm.
So it worked for her because of her personality. And as much as we as parents try to say it's my way or the highway, it don't work like that for every child.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
Different strokes for different folks. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Exactly. Absolutely. Tucson, what's on your heart, brother? Anna from Mississippi, coming to you next.
Yeah, I think that it's better when you do support them because they don't want to know what to do. You can't leave them out there. And I know I talk that trash.
Mm-hmm.
But I bet you one thing. My daughter knows that I'm going to be there for her. It don't make no difference what it is.
Mm-hmm.
She'll tell you that.
Yeah.
So will.
Mm-hmm.
I tell the story about her telling me, I'm going to get married, but it's going to cost you. Who you marrying? My baby daddy. I said, it ain't going to cost me nothing. Bet you that. Because I'm not going to help nobody bring you down.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do that.
Yeah.
But I'm going to help you.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not a downward fall. And my niece I talked about, one thing that she had going for her, when we call it mistake, had her, they do things.
Mm-hmm.
The boy stayed.
Mm.
And he helped take care of him.
Yeah.
He grew up quick.
Mm-hmm.
And started being a man. And they did what they had to do to raise the boy.
Mm-hmm.
I can't call his nickname. And we start getting used to calling him his nickname till one day he told us, well, his grandmother, he said, that's not my name. That my name is, and my mother's, yes, and then my father is over there.
Mm-hmm.
It helps when you help them start doing the right thing in the wrong that they do.
Mm-hmm.
Because everybody will, I guess, experiment if they want to try. But when they do, hold them to it. That's what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
Help them, but don't you remove them from their responsibility and you do it.
Mm-hmm.
That's not helping them at all. Well, they just small. They just made a mistake, and I just have to help them. Yeah, that's good. But don't be the parent. Be the grandparent.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
And it's helpful.
And know the difference.
We do not.
Mm-hmm.
How you going to leave a person behind that don't know nothing and tell them, come on, you're going to make it? That don't make no sense.
Yeah. Yeah. That's
so
good.
We got to do our part for sure, but don't do it all. I see grandparents doing it all, and they drop that kid off and never see him again. They're always busy. They always got something to do. I don't know why I got to take care of them. That's your child. That's why.
Yeah.
That's your child.
Mm-hmm.
And you're helping them when you make them do that because children don't forget. And we want to let the grandparents raise them and show up for graduation, talking about that's my child. I'm so proud of it. That child ain't going to be studying.
Mm-hmm. At all. At all.
No.
Mm-hmm.
Their parents, fathers especially, that want to show up when their kids do something great. But when they need milk, they don't know where to be found when they need diapers. That don't make no sense. That's nothing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go Cassandra in a minute.
Oh, Lord.
It just frustrates me to the point where we let the father of the child go scot-free.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want to put him on child. You don't have to put him on child support, but send him the bills.
Yeah.
Put the bill in his name, because that's his child.
Mm-hmm.
And grandparents, be grandparents. Enjoy your life. You didn't stop your life to start all over again. You barely walking, and you pushing a cart.
Cart holding you up.
A cane and a cart. Pushing a cane and a cart.
Lord. Jesus. Tucson. Sound like you might be a little angry there, brother.
That angers me, man. It angers me because you're taking away from the child learning to be responsible.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's what you're doing.
Okay.
Then when you wind up partying and you got to go get him out of jail, or you got to go get him out of another situation, or they get pregnant again and again and again, just having parties, that orgies and all that kind of stuff, and you say, "Well, I just got a house full of children, and I don't know what to do." Well, put your teeth in a glass.
Lord Jesus.
Lord
Jesus. We're gonna stop you right there, Tucson. We're gonna stop you right there. Let me go and go to Annie from Mississippi. Then we're gonna go to Rico. Rico, I see you there, brother. Great to come to you next. And what do you say to that, man? Be the grandparent and you don't be the parent. The child has a parent. Your responsibility is being a grandparent, a helping or assistance when a help and assistance is needed. Do you agree with that?
Well, as a grandparent, sometimes we have no choice but to be the parent because, the parents, my grandbabies, my children were young and they wanted to do things, and, we're not going to see our children, our grandbabies out there hurting for anything, or, so we sometimes the grandparent have to be the parent. Not that I didn't sign up for that, but, things happen. And it put me in that position where I had to do that. And that's what I had to be, not just for this grandchild, but for other ones. My grandbabies, I basically had my grandchildren from the time they were born up until maybe 4 or 5 years old.
Mm-hmm.
When they started to get bigger, then the parents would keep them more. But when they were smaller and, needing more attention, that's a lot of times when most of the grandparents will have them. So as a grandparent, we love our children so much, we ain't gonna let them, hurt for anything.
How did that impact your life?
By them being young.
How did that impact?
Have a young mind.
Hey, Annie, how did that impact? You say you had the kids all the way up to those about 4 years old. First 4 or 5 years of their life. How did that impact your life or make a difference in your life?
It took a lot of time. There was a lot of frustration. It just slowed me down.
Mm-hmm.
At the time, I wanted some me time, but I didn't have no me time for the first 4 or 5 years when my grandchildren were born. It was all about them.
Mm-hmm.
My kids would call me, when they would start going out, and they'll call me and they'll say, "Well, we going here, and we'll drop the kids off for the night. We'll get them tomorrow. Tomorrow turn into Wednesday. It turned into Sunday. But what can you do?" I remember one time my daughter had called me. She had called me, her and her friends, but I was babysitting both of their children. And they like, "Well, we're going to be out of town for a few days, and we was going to come back, but something happened, and we won't be back until later." And I was going to take my grandbaby somewhere, and they one say, there she go right there. There she is right there, Grandma. I'm like, what? So they had lied to me. They was right there by me all alone and telling me that they were going to be out of town. And I had all those grandbabies and her friends' child. And I took them right to them. And I put them right in their car. Sure did. But that's just things that we as grandparents go through. They don't have the patience all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I'd rather keep my grandbabies knowing they're safe than letting them take them to other people's house where I'm guessing.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
Because sometimes they'll take these kids to people's homes, they friend, cousin. You don't never know what's going on over there. So as grandparents, we have that, that hovering power that, where we hover over those babies as we gave them birth ourselves, because we know what the world holds. There's a lot of evil people in this world.
Yeah.
So our job is to protect them and to keep them up there. If I keep them for a week or two, I'll do what I got to do, because I got to make sure this child is safe, and I can't release her until I know that she's okay. Go with her mom. That's one thing, but you can't take her to everybody's house and drop them off. That ain't how it works. Not long as I'm living anyway.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. See, and everybody have a different take on how they're going to do this situation. Because some people will say, like you'll say, like Toussaint said, I'm the grandparent. I'm not the parent. You raise your own kids. Now I help you if you need help along the way. But as far as you could bring them here, drop them off, and me keeping them for the first 2, 3, 4 years. I don't know if that's gonna happen. But but other people feel the way you feel. I'd rather have them. My grandmother felt the way you felt. She said, my mother had me when she was young, and my grandmother took over for. My grandmother said, "Bring me that baby." One night, my grandmother bring that baby in here to me, and I was with my grandmother, man, for a long period of time, man. She raised me. My grandmother raised me, so you have two different takes on this thing. Rico, good morning, sir. How you doing this morning? Stanley, coming to you next.
I can't complain, man. I'm just happy to see another day of life, man. How everybody doing this morning?
Hey, doing good. Good to have you, brother. We're talking about parenting and how it's very difficult for adults, seasoned adults, to raise kids. It's very difficult for them to raise kids. But is it more difficult for a teen parent? If a teenager have a child, is it more difficult on that teen parent to raise that child?
Oh man, obviously yes. I mean, that to me seems like a question that will be answered without even having to answer the question. We come around in a time now where we say something about babies raising babies.
Mm-hmm.
Man, what kind of logic does that make to have a baby raising a baby? But that's what it is.
Mm-hmm.
That reason why that exists is because of the fact that somehow you don't have enough experience or responsibility or maturity of enough to be able to be understanding or reasonable enough to be a parent.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
To be not so selfish. And as I'm listening to you talk, I hear the question, well, how did that impact you? How did it impact them children?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
The most vulnerable
mm-hmm.
of the situation. See, the question, what would Jesus do? I think a lot of people forget that.
Mm-hmm.
What would Jesus do if he had to take care of somebody's child or his daughter's child? Or, if he was in your position.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you the grandparent. Yeah, you done had your time. Yeah, you done raised your children. Now you ready to lose your life. But okay, what about them children? Because the thing is in some cases, if the grandparents were involved, the children would still be alive. How many horror stories we got to hear of children? As a matter of fact, I was reading one last week with this woman named Teresa Black. She was charged with murder of her own child. They didn't know who the child was for 20 years. Found a baby in a cemetery in Georgia in 1999. Couldn't identify the baby. Took 20 years to identify the baby. This woman went on and lived her whole life, enjoyed her life and did what she wanted to do, and pretended this baby wasn't even alive. Then they talked to the father. Because I heard Donna say something about the fathers getting away scot-free. Man, I don't know too many stories of the fathers not getting away scot-free and not even having an opportunity. This young man's father said that when he was calling, they was putting him on the phone with some other little boy, making him pretend that he was talking to his son. He didn't even know his son was dead. And I think they gave her 10 years, 11 years, something like that. She didn't get a lot of time. They said before the baby even came up missing in 1998, the child was looking like it had been malnourished and that she was detached. She didn't like the clothing and feed it. You could tell she didn't really have a concern the way a mother should.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine that woman, and I know some situations that's live in action now, real life situations right now, where there's a woman that was adopted, has 2 children that she put in through the same situation she went through, but the adoptive parents are so fed up with her that they are torn in between whether or not they want to step up for her children or not. So in the first 6 months of this little baby's life, he's been between Savannah and Atlanta 4 times already. Just was in a drive-by shooting last week. Somebody gonna have to step up and get that baby.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's mighty selfish for the grandparent to say, well, what about my life? I'd rather live my life. I don't have my children. And then be the first ones boo-hooing and crying saying woulda, coulda, shoulda, when that baby has been found out to be molested or found dead in the cemetery and not identified for 20 years.
Wow.
You know, yeah, does it impact, or is it harder for the children that have children? Yes, these children, these young people don't have the patience. Some of them don't have the support system. Some of them don't have the knowledge. And some of them are responsible enough to not know how not to be so selfish and do what they want to do, like go to the club every weekend. Or maybe do like Casey Anthony did her daughter and give her a little Xanax to knock her out while she at the club party, and then all of a sudden she come back and find her baby dead. She done made her OD. What's this little medicine they say they give children now? Get them the melatonin, knock them out. I hate to admit it, but I give my kids a little hit of that melatonin and they'll knock them out. So they go do their thing, leaving these children vulnerable to whatever vices that exist in this world that Anna just spoke about, in this cruel, wicked world that Willow speaks about. You know, that we all speak about that exists. Man, these children out here vulnerable. Somebody got to step up. Even if it's not the grandparents, somebody in the village got to be the one to step up and realize that it's a child that's in need, not only of instruction, but protection.
Good deal. Absolutely.
Sometimes from their own parent, especially in these quite a few situations I done bought before, especially from their own mother that delivered them from the body.
Exactly.
You know, I speak about the woman that had her 2 children in the deep freezer. And the other children had to walk by that deep freezer every day going to school, knowing their older brother and sister was in that deep freezer. And the fathers that were calling, and where my children at? Oh, they over at their grandmama's house today. Oh, he don't want to come see you today. He mad at you. Trying to find out they done been dead for the last 4 or 5 years, sitting up in the deep freezer. And she saying she don't regret it.
Wow. Steve, right there for a second. Hold on.
Grandparents need their own time. I don't raise my children. I feel like I shouldn't have to raise no more children. No, you got to step up, man.
Exactly. Hold on, Rico.
Have to step up because these children are raising children.
Good. Stay right there, Rico. Don't go to. I'm gonna pour. I'll stand into the conversation. Good morning, sir. How you doing this morning?
So every day above ground, it's a good day. I'm doing good. How y'all doing?
Hey, doing good. Good to have you with us this morning. We're talking about children, raising children, parenting, if you will, and how difficult it is for an adult or seasoned adult to raise kids. But is it more difficult? Is it struggle harder if you're a teen parent? What do you say to that?
Yeah, because the teen don't know what they're doing from the start. You know, when everybody makes mistakes. So as a teenager, you know, you're not even fully developed to even take care of yourself. So you know you're not equipped to take care of a child. And as grandparents, you know, that's the problem really with Black people, man. We really have to. Hold on, turn left. On my way to the doctor.
Okay.
We have to not be selfish and help our children. This is our second chance to get it right. And as grandparents, that's what we need to do. We need to help get it right because, you know, we're behind in everything. And you know that as Black people.
Yeah.
I was telling friends of mine yesterday that every other race is coming in here and they're doing everything better than us. The Mexicans are coming in. They used to come in and pick fruit. Now they're laying bricks. They're putting on roofs. They're building houses. They're getting ahead of us. The Indians are coming in, buying up all the hotels, gas stations, and all this other stuff. And we're being selfish and don't want to help raise our kids to prepare our grandkids for the future. Bro, we just get further and further behind. We have got to step it up. You know, like I said, my wife and I, we have 2 of our granddaughters, and they had them almost 10 years now, and we're going to keep them until they get ready to go to college. Because we feel like we can do a better job with them, provide for them, take care of them, and guide them in the best direction that we can and prepare them, you know, for the future. And as grandparents, that's our responsibility. You know, I lived with my grandmother from the time I was 15 until I went in the military. You know, and my grandmother, my granddad, and my dad, all of them really looked out for me. And I made a promise to myself that when I became a grandparent, I was going to be the grandparent that I could be.
Yeah, that's good.
And if I would sacrifice some things that I want, I will for them. because it's our responsibility to help them get further ahead than we were. You know, there's a lot of things I want to do, places I want to go, but it's my responsibility to make sure these grandkids are taken care of them. But the parents fall short. You know, I'm gonna be there for my daughters and my sons. I'm gonna be there for all of them, but I'm not going to say, well, no, those are your kids. You know, you do the best you can. Well, no, doing that is not being a great or responsible grandparent. Now, I understand some people have their own life. Well, no, I'm not going to take care of your kids for 2 or 3 years. Well, that's your choice. But as far as my wife and I, if my sons or my daughters come to me and say, Dad, I need y'all to take these kids about a year, so let me get myself together. Okay, well, bring them on. I'll sacrifice whatever I have to sacrifice because that's my grandchild. Or that's my great grandchild. Bring them on, and we're going to do the best we can when you get yourself together. You know, if you have to, that's another thing. We have got to stop putting our kids out at 18 if they're unprepared. Black folks, the first thing they say, you get 18, you're getting out of here. But if you haven't shown them how to balance a checkbook, how to pay their bills, you know, how to be responsible, then you kicking them out to the world. And it might take them 4 or 5 years to get themselves together. But I read something a couple of weeks ago. A guy said his kids and grandkids can stay at his house as long as they need to. If they don't want to leave, they don't have to leave. Because we have got to start taking care of our own.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Good day. Cassandra, what do you say to that? Tucson, come to you next. Cassandra, my two mute button people, boy, my two mute button people, they take a minute. Cassandra, you there, Cassandra?
Yeah, I was actually, yeah. Yeah, you know, I'm with Stanley. I'm sorry. My children can go out there and they can come back if they need to. I was never that mother to say when you turn 18, you know, you got to get out, and I was never that mother. I was never that person. I believe if they need my help, they need my help. I'm not talking about giving them a crutch, but we keep saying our children are different. You know your child. You know if your child needs that extra time to be, you know, to get on their feet or to get I'm sorry. I just can't. I'm not telling mine to get, you know, you got to get out because you 20 or 25. I don't care if you 50. If you want to be around me at 50, then you be around me at 50. If you working, you know, you trying to, you helping. I don't care. I mean, some people, that's a problem for them, but that's not a problem for me. I wish that my grandchildren, you know, were still around me. I don't like being alone. I like having my family around me. And you know, I don't care. My grandchildren, I got 4 grandboys. They absolutely love their grandmother because they know I'm always there for them. They can talk to me about anything, and you know that's hard to get young guys to open up. But they will talk to me about the girlfriends and the this and the that, and I love that. So everybody is different. My children can stay at home if they need to. If they need to come back, they can come back. You understand? While they get on their feet, I don't have a problem with that. And that's just me. Like I said, everybody is different, but yeah. You know, yeah, I'm gonna leave it there. Yeah, they welcome to come back if they need to.
Good deal, good. Tucson, what do you say to that? Mr. Battery Man.
I'm glad everybody different.
I knew it.
Because I don't feel selfish at all. Still don't. And I'm going to stand on that because you got 16, 17 years to prepare your child for life. There's a thing called life that you have to do the best you can at preparing your child for life. And whatever, but I'm not going to put you out, but I'm going to very strongly suggest that you do something with them clothes. at a certain age. Period.
Mm-hmm.
My parents did that for my older brothers and sisters, and I find out that they're doing very well. And not only are they're doing for themselves, they're doing for their children and grandchildren. And my older sister has a great grandchild.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he's 22 years old, and he just bought him a big house.
There you go.
Nice big house.
Mm-hmm.
22.
Yeah.
22.
Mm-hmm.
So made some errors, got some kids, stayed with the one, the young girl, whatever you want to call her. But for 16, 17 years, they prepared them for life.
Mm-hmm.
And they're making good decisions. But and I'll stand on that all day long, April, May, June, some parts of September.
Mm-hmm.
I know my wife ain't gonna do it. Sure enough, they can come by. But ain't no way in the world, because I know how these kids work. We know how they work. You think that they right around the block, and you see them, they on a cruise. Can the child, can Rajikai stay the night? And they there for a week. And you done posted yourself on Facebook on a cruise. The devil is a lie. You'll never do that again. And I'm selfish. I'm the selfish one. Come on, that's a stop it.
Leonard,
I'm
what?
selfish.
Say you supposed to be babysitting for a couple of days, and you see them on a cruise.
You're having a ball. Yeah. I mean, here it is, and you in the smokehouse, and you posting. You know they post all their business.
Yeah.
And you can find out what they're doing on Facebook or Instagram, or they got some other ones that they got little private groups, and they post their stuff, and you think, don't cry, baby. Oh, very nice, Papa, Mama here. And then you look and you say, I'll be doggone. I thought they right around the corner. While you sacrificing again. Well, that's good, and it's commendable. Let me say this. It's commendable because we got to do something. We have to, because some children don't know how to raise children because they're children.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to do something. I'm just saying that don't make no sense to me. Me. It ain't got nothing to do with nobody else. To have these young folks, they can't keep a job nowhere. And just because they can't keep a job, you set your life aside. I don't care. I can't say that. Boy, I almost said something that was really, I know. Let me just say it a different way because I can't say I don't care. But I don't think Jesus would ever want us to allow our children to not be responsible.
Good deal.
I don't think so.
Let me do it
all in the book, instructions on how to raise a child in the first place.
Good deal. 508-924-3521. 508-924-3521. And I got to do my shout out. Good morning, Mom. I see you watching over there, Mom. I see you watching. Good morning. Love you. Love you dearly, baby. Love you dearly. Thank you for watching. Let me go to Leonard. Let me look at my list here. Let me go to Leonard. Leonard, talk to me, brother.
What?
See, we got a couple of different.
I kind of like really Toussaint's response because it's very rational. And I can tell you, parenting is the most challenging thing that has ever occurred and happened in my life. It was just that much of a priority.
Let me ask you this question: Is it not rational for a parent to also say bring that baby over here? And like Stanley, he said, they had the grand for about 10 years now. And Annie said she had hers for about 4 or 5 years. Is that not rational?
No, that's necessary. That's completely rational because obviously it was necessary.
Absolutely.
And it was the best decision to be made. A decision had to be made to do that for a particular reason, I'm sure, because I'm pretty sure these aren't kidnappings.
No, not at all.
Exactly. So there's a reason for everything. But what we must not do is encourage mediocrity. The goal should be different for those that are trying to do better than others. The goal should be different. Some folks wait till they go get an education and they can provide for a baby before they make it. Remember that.
Michael Jackson said it best. You can't take care of the baby, don't make the baby.
Remember that. Then teach that. Make that the goal. I don't even care if you put some type of reward with it or incentive with it. You need to tell your little girl, I guarantee you, I give you 10 grand cash money if you manage not to be pregnant before 21. This is what you will earn in exchange for your obedience. I'm not trying to do it to prove nothing about me. I'm trying to do something to help you. Everybody talk about, black folks got some myths and everything that keep them in certain positions that really need to be dispelled. And it's going to take about 20 years, at least still, to do that. Because by now, most of your kids have understood that a lot of them have said, you know what? I'm going to break this cycle. I'm going to break this cycle of poverty, uneducated, breeding with no thought to the consequences. We have to teach that. So when you fail to do it, you learn to separate what I should have done from what I did and how I'm going to correct it. Now, if you can only develop into the future, that's where your focus should be. You don't change goals and motivations and things because of what you failed and did. You don't make plans from the fall from grace. It's in the getting up.
Wow.
It's in the getting up. Yes, you sin, but there is repentance. But some of y'all don't turn what y'all kids do into what's okay. And that's why they keep doing what they're doing to you.
Wow. What do you all think? What do y'all think? Give us a call, 508-924-3521, 508-924-3521. Ryan, talk to me, brother. He knew I was going to come to him and turn his on. Come on, right? He knew I was coming to him. He knew.
So I'm thinking, yeah, it's okay to step in as a grandparent. God knows I wouldn't be here today if mine didn't. Mine stepped in for a different reason, because of abuse in my home. They pulled me out. They took away my mother's parental rights back when they was allowed to do that. Can't do that no more. I'm okay with bring the baby over here, but you coming with it. I'm not finna raise your kid. I'm gonna help you learn how to raise your kid the best way that I can. I'm not taking care of your kid so you can go out to the club and have a week out on the cruise ship. That's not happening. It's never going to happen. And if it does happen, you're gonna find yourself out the house, learning how hard it is to raise a child by yourself. The hard way. It may sound harsh to some people, but it's not a free ride. You messed up. You were disobedient. You didn't follow what you were taught. So you're going to have to learn. My mother had to learn.
But see, to Rico's point, that part is good, but you also got to take the child's well-being into consideration in regards
Absolutely.
to this.
And that's what I'm saying. You put that on the table. I'm not saying don't offer that.
Mm-hmm.
That's not what I'm saying at all. But if you offer that and then they turn and put their nose up in the air after you make that offer and they still going to do what they want to do, bye.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's not what I'm here for. I'm here as your parent to help you. If you don't want my help, bye.
Mm-hmm.
It's offered to you. It's there. It's readily available.
Yeah, free of charge. It's offered free of charge. Yeah.
The love is there. Everything is there. But I ain't no fool.
Mm-hmm.
You're not going to run the streets and leave me in here with your child.
Mm-hmm.
So you're going to stay right up in here in this house, raising this child like you're supposed to do.
You're going to be secure. You're going to have the security of a place, a roof over your head, and food on it. You have the security of that, but you're going to take the responsibility of being the parent at the same time.
You got to go to school or you got a job.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. I'm going to watch the kid while you at work or while you at school. But you better be at work or at school, because if you're not, I'm going to treat you just like you still a child and whoop your behind.
Wow.
And that ought to make you not want to be in your daddy's house.
Wow.
Because you got to follow his rules, and now your baby wondering, that's daddy right there.
Mm-hmm.
Why? Because daddy take care of everything. Daddy is the one providing the safety net. And guess who you ought to respect? Dad.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow.
I mean, and just put it out there, Raheem. Look what happened with my oldest. She's moving back in today. You remember she left me a year ago for her boyfriend. And she did it in a foul way. And I didn't let her come home for a year. But then she had to go take care of my parents in their elder age.
Yeah.
And not only work a full-time job, go to school full-time, but come home and have to wipe my parents behind. And now that it's too much and she's learned how hard life is, she's gone from here all the way down here. And then it was, I understand what I did wrong. I'm sorry. And I come home and get a little stress relief.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah. Come on home. 508-924-3521. 508-924-3521. Kurt, good morning, sir. How you doing this morning?
Hey, morning, man. Morning. What's going on?
Hey, doing good. Doing good, man. We're talking about parenting and how difficult it is for an adult. But how much more difficult is it for a teenager to raise a child? Curtis, what do you say to that?
That's an easy answer. That it's very difficult.
Why so?
Because, like, a lot of teenagers really have not had the chance to, I don't want to say live life, but they have not had the chance to live life on life's terms. You know, they've been living life on the terms of, for example, their mamas and their daddies. Well, when you have to live life on life's terms, mom and daddy, and in most cases, really can't save you. So what happens is what happens. You just got to deal with the fallout of that. And that's just what it is. So a lot of kids really haven't had the chance to do that. And then once given the chance to do that, most of the time, they fall short because there's things that happen that they don't know nothing about. Like, man, I get kids off the street. You'd be surprised that a lot of these kids don't even know. We get them off the street, we get them a housing voucher, and they don't know the first thing about the simplistic fact of having to set up your gas and electric. They don't know that, oh no, you got to pay this bill every month.
Mm-hmm.
When they modulating through the processes, their patience is so thin, but you can tell that, you know what, whoever mama was, or whoever daddy was, whoever mom and daddy was, this kid ain't never had to spend a day going down to the Department of Social Services. Because now that you've grown and you got to go down there and seek help, you don't even have the know-it-all like I do, and most of my constituents, that you know that if I got to go to the Department of Social Services today, I might as well go on plan this to be a day. Because I'm going to be here at the bare minimum 4 hours. In their minds, even though they're dealing with human beings and they're dealing with a process that's being modulated by human beings, in their minds, they're dealing with a computer. They can hit enter and it's going to be right there. So, I mean, I don't recommend to no child having kids if you have not even experienced life outside of mama and daddy. If you have not experienced that, don't even try it. Keep your goods to yourself, because it's not gonna work, brother.
Wow. Rico, talk to me, brother. Cassandra, coming to you next. And then Stanley, coming to you.
Yeah, man. I mean, I think everybody pretty much hitting it, man. You know, parenting skills, they are mental and physical. And a lot of those parenting skills have to come with this thing that a lot of children don't have, which is the I'm gonna say the gift of nurturing, nor patience. You know, when you got young adults or young children, young adults, having these children and not realizing that a newborn baby might wake up every 3 hours. But you don't know now what it feels like to really want to get some sleep, because you ain't never really been about sleeping. You've been living a young, fast life. Maybe you working, maybe you going to school, maybe you making it off for 4 or 5 hours of sleep a day. Maybe you're a party animal. But now all of a sudden you didn't realize the responsibility that came with this child. Now all of a sudden, we finally got this child asleep, and just as soon as I thought I was gonna get me some sleep, So, it starts becoming known. It's been known for a long time that a lot of times when these parents do end up being their children's worst enemy, the ones that actually hurt their children, abusing their children, and beating them when they're babies, it comes a lot from frustration. This dang baby won't stop crying. I don't know what's wrong with her. Man, you know how many young adults I heard crying because they couldn't stop the children from crying? I almost had a nervous breakdown. They didn't have the patience, and the lack of patience made them not have a calm enough mind to sit back and just say, okay, slow down and figure out, why is this baby crying? Does it have a rash? Is his stomach hurting? Is it colicky? I mean, so many different things. But once again, you can't expect people to read a book of Chinese and they ain't never read Chinese before. You got to have some experience or something. And so, I guess that's why in the past, baby dolls was such, I ain't gonna say a necessity, but it was almost like a what would you call a pathway, a trainer. They would train little girls to play with dolls and play with baby dolls and learn how to be sensitive. In some schools, I think they had classes where they actually sent children home or young teens home with babies to take care of that would mimic crying.
There's a project.
Just to show you what the experience would be if you decide to have a child at an early age. So, it goes back to like what Curtis said and what I said earlier. That question that you asked is very obvious that it's harder on the team, because you do have to have experience in everything. Even when you're an adult, experience is everything, man. I mean, if you don't have any experience or don't have anybody to even start trying to train you to prepare you for these experiences, which a lot of parents don't. A lot of parents don't train their children to be prepared to be good parents. or they don't even train their children to be good protectors or providers for the elderly. But when they get old, but see, that's what you have to do as a parent. You have to prepare your children to be caregivers and to be compassionate, because one day you're going to have to depend on them to wipe your butt, or to put you in a nursing home and have somebody that don't care nothing about you to wipe your butt and to beat on you. That compassion is everything. So, yeah, it's very hard, but, sacrifice is the key. Sacrifice is the key to everything.
Yeah.
Everything that we talk about every morning that you get on this show and wake up and start talking about the things that's going on. Sooner or later, human beings got to realize that sacrifice is the number one tool that we are supposed to use to make sure that we are living in I'll say going down in the right direction for mankind, humankind, and as individuals, not just as a group or as a society, but as individuals. We really got to understand how important sacrifice is to keep us from being so selfish and single-minded on what we want, or the impact that things will have on us personally. Sometimes we have to take ourselves out of the equation and think about the most vulnerable, or the people that will benefit the most. What's right? Like I said earlier, what would Jesus do?
Good deal. Good deal. Now, I said I was gonna go in a certain order. I didn't write it down, so I don't know whether I see Cassandra or Stanley gonna be next. So let me go to Cassandra, and then Stanley, I'm gonna come to you. Cassandra, what's on your heart?
Yeah, as like I said, I was a teen mother, and I went through a lot of abuse during my pregnancy and even afterwards. And you have to, and I understand people that just believe that because a kid is 18 or a person is 18, that makes them knowledgeable enough to be on their own. How is that? How is a number? How does a number, an age, make you? I know people that are 20, 30 years old that are still have not developed into responsible adults. So how is it that we can just say, oh, you 18, you need to be, I cannot, because we know that our young people are different mentally. There are some 18-year-olds that are like 14-year-olds, 13-year-olds. They're not mature. They have the age, but they're not mature. Does that count? Does the fact that they're not mature enough to do it on their own, does that count? Listen, and they got pregnant. I get it. Whatever reason they got pregnant, I get it. But if you allow them to actually have the baby, then a lot of times they need help. That's all I'm saying. I'm not talking about nobody living on you for the rest of your life, but you do put that baby at risk when you just go like, well, you can't stay here. And Rico is right. It's a lot of damaged children out here because their parents were immature and not knowing what to do, and they were put out to operate on their own. So that's just my opinion. I'm just not that kind of parent. Wow. I'm just not. I don't think that the age makes them responsible. I don't care how much you teach them. I don't care how much Bible you give them. Just because they're of age, 18, does not make them mature enough to be able to handle certain situations.
That's good. That's good. Stanley, talk to me. A lot of time it has nothing to do with age, man. It's maturity and how one grasps the responsibility that's before them. What do you say, Stanley?
Well, like we said, 18 doesn't make you responsible. It might make you an adult legally, but if I'm correct, and it's been a while since I took psychology, but I don't think the human brain really fully develops until you're about 26 years old.
Amen.
And what we have to look at as well is, just think about it, I'm 60 years old. We're not really that far removed from civil rights and all that kind of stuff. So a lot of our parents didn't really know how to be parents because they were fighting so many other battles. So if you have parents that grew up in that era and grandparents that grew up in that era, they was fighting a lot of other things, plus trying to raise children. So it's a lot of children and grandchildren now that at our age that really didn't get the nurturing and the education, a lot of things that they should have gotten because the grandparents and the parents back then really didn't know what they were doing because they were fighting other battles. So what we have to do, if you learn better, you do better. And I can't speak for anybody else other than myself on this line. We have to be the best grandparents that we can now. We have to sacrifice ourselves and parts of our life for these grandchildren. I understand some folks do it. I'm not going to raise your child. Well, you know, that's you, and then that's your life, and that's your choice, and you do as you please. But as far as me and my family, we're going to do the best we can to provide a better life for our grandchildren and our grandchildren because I want to leave a legacy for them. I don't want them to have to go through what I went through growing up. We're supposed to make each generation is supposed to get better.
It's supposed to, yes.
You know, it's supposed to get better. We're supposed. It's our responsibility to make things better for the ones that are coming behind us. We don't want to make it as tough for them as it was for us.
Exactly.
That don't make sense to me.
No.
That don't make sense at all. We got to make it better for them. You know, I was telling my wife the other day, I said, man, you know, we're sitting there talking, and, you know, I said, I don't care what anybody thinks about me, man. I'm going to do the best I can for my children and my grandchildren.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. My daughter in Augusta, our daughter has our Land Rover. One of my sons has my Denali. Another one of my sons has my 88 Ford truck, which I love. But I told my wife, all that's material stuff. What I did, and they don't even know it, I've already put their names on the title. So when they try to bring the vehicles back, I'm just gonna give them the title.
Yeah, yeah.
It's just material stuff, man. I can't take it with me. My wife can't take it with me.
Yeah.
So if I could do something to help them be better and do better for their children, which are my grandchildren, man, please.
Yes, sir.
That stuff don't even matter no more.
Absolutely.
They don't even know their names are already on the title, bro.
Praise God.
Already. And I got to get off. I'm at my appointment, but I've enjoyed this conversation. But like I say, to each his own. Everybody's gonna do what they want to do and what they feel is better for their life. But me, man, my grandchildren, my great grandchildren. Hey, to God be the glory, bro.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna do all I can for them.
Absolutely. That's good. That's good. Appreciate you too, brother. Appreciate you, man. I'm gonna holler at you later on.
Okay. All right.
Willow.
Good morning, Raheem.
Good morning, young lady.
Good morning, Glow.
How you doing this morning?
I'm doing good.
Good
Yeah,
deal.
you know the enemy always trying to work, but that's okay.
There you go.
He's not gonna get the victory. Not today.
Not today. Not on this day. Not on this
today.
day.
Not today.
Exactly. Well, we're talking about parenting and how it's very difficult for adults, seasoned adults, to raise children. But is it just as hard or harder on teen parents?
That's a great question. That's a great question because, and I'm gonna say, it just depends on how old you are too. Because I had my baby real young, so it was very hard, very very hard for me in the beginning. But if I was to raise some children now, it wouldn't be as hard as it was when it was hard then. And I'm gonna tell you why. Because as you learn in life, as you get older in life, you learn more and you understand more about life. See, when your parents are not talking to you about life and you have to experience it and learn it on your own, it gets harder. But if you got that communication piece falling from one generation to another, to another, you're good.
Mm-hmm.
And then here's another thing. If you have a single child, some people believe just having one child it might be pretty easy, but not necessarily so, as if you were having many.
Mm-hmm.
Because I had 3 children, and all 3 of them have different personalities.
Yes.
So can you imagine loving all 3 of them the same, but you got to treat them a little bit different?
Mm.
So it just depends on the situation, Raheem. You know, that's a difficult one.
Mm-hmm.
Because even when you teach and you train your children, when they get older, they still have their own mind, their own free will to do what they want to do.
Exactly.
And that's on my heart.
Good deal. Tucson, what do you say to that, brother? Talk to me. Kurt, coming to you next.
Yeah. I had I guess a couple of years ago, I didn't have a nickel to my name. I guess I don't know. I couldn't pee out the pot.
Mm-hmm.
But then all of a sudden, life started changing around very quickly, and I thank God for it. And I can't explain it either. But I got 15 grandchildren, and any one of them, especially the older ones, you know what they do? Ring the phone anytime.
Mm-hmm.
And they know it. They can always, if mama and daddy can't, whatever, for whatever reason, they always, I don't know how that happens. That here's, let me change the tone of it, I guess, my tone at least. He gives us what we need to accomplish enough for us and the next generation. I don't even understand how you do it.
Mm.
And you know, I'm right. You can do the best you can with your life.
Yes.
And your kids, if they come around and you know they don't never leave home totally, even when they're doing good.
Mm-hmm.
And then if they need, you always got it. And then the grandchildren, you always got enough for that too. I don't know how that works out, but it works. So what I'm saying is, I know I'm the tough guy. I try to be that tough love. But let that phone ring.
Mm-hmm.
All that noise, it's not necessarily noise I'm talking. Because what I'm saying is, I'm going to let them make the best try at doing it yourself as you possibly can. Because you have been given all the tools you need to make it.
Mm.
You've been given it to. You've been told. You've been shown. You've been watching. You've been observing. You saw mistakes made, and you saw not. You mean to tell me you got a problem and you quit your job? No, sir. I'm going to work.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go next to where you at, Daddy. Where you think I'm at? I'm at work.
Mm-hmm.
You don't see me laying around at the house. I'm not doing that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh well, you know you got us this situation and it didn't work out. What you gonna do now? I'm gonna try again, and I'm gonna try best, and I'm gonna come up. I'm gonna come out of it.
Mm-hmm.
And these are things that we do as parents while our kids are watching us. So don't be the one that gives them the excuse to do nothing. That's what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
Don't let them do nothing while you do everything. That just don't mean, and I know they got life. They got to finish their school. You want them to have an education. Good. That's fine and dandy.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, back in the day, they used to say, hey, look at your little brother or your cousin. Your little cousin is here. Your little cousin here. But nobody knew that when you was raising your grandchild, that your daughter that you sent off for 6 months or whatever, and she came back all of a sudden. And then, you know, we kind of hid it under the rug a little bit. And now mama got a little brother, another son or daughter, and she never showed her pregnancy. She was raising her grandchild. So it was did differently, but it was the same.
Yeah. Wow.
My kids know I got insurance. I'm paying on insurance. It's not mine. I got cars in my name that I don't drive. I'm like Sanders. If you need something, if you can't go get it, well, I'm trying to figure out why I'm that, anyway, what I'm saying is God puts us in a place that not only we can do ourselves, but we can do for our family that's coming behind. That's all.
Good deal. Good deal. Kurt,
thank God.
Kurt, talk to me. Rico, coming to you next.
Well, it ain't much I can say, but I mean, it ain't already been said.
Why is it so much? Why is it so much harder on a teenager? Why is it so much harder than the other outside of the obvious reason? What do you think it is, Kurt?
The obvious is enough. There is no outside the obvious. There's no outside the obvious. Most times, kids are really not prepared to be parents.
Are any of us though, even at 30 years old, are we prepared? Because that's a whole different walk that we've been around our nieces and nephews and other children, but our own. That's a whole different dynamic on it, Kurt. You're responsible for this other little person. Are any of us prepared?
None of us are really prepared. There's, people write books on how to be a parent, but in real time, to be painfully honest, in real time, there's no book that covers what goes on in real time.
Yeah.
Right. So none of us are really prepared, but we're talking about kids.
Yeah. There you go.
At least as an adult, if you have been taught properly, as an adult, you understand one thing, that a decision has to be made. I can't put this off for tomorrow, even though I would like to. I can't put it off for tomorrow. I can't think about yesterday. I got to think about right now and what's going on right now at the present time.
Yeah.
So, as an adult, you kind of forced to make those decisions like that. As a child, to be honest, if you have any kind of support system whatsoever, you kind of have options. Just like a prime example is Willa said earlier. She had her kids when she was young. Well, a lot of times, if we just go back to that time, for example, when I was a child, my mother had a support system. Although my mother was 20 years old when she had me, she still had a support system. My grandma was right there. All right, now, Sherry, you gonna do this? Doggone girl, go on do that. I got the kid. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now we have a situation where, in all reality, and I ain't trying to blame nobody. Don't want to blame nobody. But look at the system as a whole. The parents nowadays, in all reality, is trying to be as young, if not younger, than the kids. The kids are trying to be older, if not older than the parents. So who's watching the hen house? So these kids are growing up without that extra support.
Wow.
They don't have the support that we had, y'all. And that's a guarantee. If you look at
the dynamics of the family have not changed, Kurt. So why don't they have the same support? What is it that has changed? The family is the same.
Don't say that, because you gotta pay attention to society, bro. The dynamics of family has changed.
Explain to me how.
It has completely changed.
Explain to me how.
It has. For example, the dynamics of a family, right? Look up the rates of children growing up in one-parent households. Look at the rates of children growing up in households that have several or major traumatic experiences. Look at children growing up, the difference of children growing up in the 60s, 70s, and children growing up now in the violent crime rate.
Mm-hmm.
You got a lot of kids that saying, I got a young boy I'm working with right now. His 3 best friends, every single one of them died a horrible death. One of them,
wow,
brains got blown out right in his face.
The
boy had brain matter in his mouth.
Wow.
Right?
Wow.
So there's a different dynamic that we saw some of it. We saw the beginning of it, but what we're seeing right now, another family dynamic. What we're seeing right now is the children of the children that caught 20, 30, and 40 years that was over sentenced. So even when they did see their father, they always seen him behind a cage.
Wow.
When the father did come home, he was still half institutionalized. So there is a change in the family dynamic. We might not want to agree with it. We might not want to admit it, but there's a change in the overall family dynamic. We ain't even talking about, now you got the LGBTQ community, they raising kids. That's a change in the normal family dynamic.
Okay. Stay right there, Kurt. Hold on for a second. I love where you're going, but let me pull some more people here. Let me go to Rico. Rico, what do you say to that, man? It's said that, and we're talking about raising children, and it is very difficult. It is very difficult for an adult, a seasoned adult, to raise children. But is it more difficult for a teen parent? And if so, what makes it that much more difficult? What do you say to that, Rico?
Oh, what makes it much? I think I sort of hit on this earlier. The fact of the lack of maturity and responsibility and lack of experience. I don't want to sound like I'm repeating myself, but it's going to end up going back to the fact that you have a lot of young adults that don't know the patience that they need. The sacrifice that it would take. I mean, they're not only going to have to sacrifice money and sacrifice time, but they're going to sacrifice a lot of sleep. And we all know how frustrating it could be when you need to get some sleep, but you can't. And that's just one of the basic parts of having a child. You're going to have to wake up about every 2 or 3 hours. That child is not fixing to sleep throughout the night until maybe about 3 or 4 months. Then you might get the child to sleep throughout the night. The little private time, one-on-one time the parents like to have sometime, man. I wish you would. Think you're going to have you some fun. That child probably gonna wake up in the middle of the night when you trying to make up in the middle of the night and do something. Oh, dang, here go that baby crying again.
Oh no.
I mean, but you got to be patient.
Yeah.
You have to be patient. You have to make sure you don't get frustrated, because these are children who are very dependent on you for their survival.
Exactly. And that's good.
That's good. And that survival can come all the way down from being sick, having a rash. I mean, there's so many different things that can happen with a child that child can't even express to you what's wrong with it. You got to be patient enough to figure it out. And, you got to have enough concern to want to figure out what's wrong with the baby, or to even compassion to even realize something is wrong with the baby, instead of just thinking, well, that's what babies do. They gonna cry. Sometimes you just have to let them cry. No, something ain't right sometimes.
Yeah.
It ain't the fact that the baby is a cry baby. Maybe it's just the fact that baby got a rash.
And very uncomfortable. Very uncomfortable. Yeah.
Exactly. So, that responsibility, man, it comes with maturity, and I say that everybody has a first child syndrome. Everybody's first child is really the practice child. Depending on your upbringing, depending on your level of responsibility or compassion, reason and understanding, you might do good with that first child. If you really think to yourself, well, you know what, man, what would I do if I was that child? Put yourself in that child place and just, think about, why would this child be crying? You can probably be a very good parent for the first child. But in most cases, that first child is your child that you're learning from.
Practice. Yep. Exactly.
And in the process of you learning, man, if you ain't careful and you don't have a good structure, solid foundation within yourself, then you might do a bad job with that first child. Especially if you don't have the right support system to come in and give you some help. You know, if I ain't mistaken, I think in the past that it was custom for women to have all type of hands on deck to assist her when she first had that baby, that first 6 weeks.
Yeah.
I always heard that the mother, that mother may come in and take over all the duties. Give me that baby. I'll change the pamper. I mean, and I can remember seeing instances of where women had their children early in the first few months, having all that assistance on hand. Now people don't have time for that.
Exactly. Stay right there. Let me go to Leonard. Leonard, what's on your heart, brother?
Excuse me. Just listening to people's experiences and things like that, you know, I think you do the best you can. And hopefully your best is grounded in sincerity. The most thing I like about young people is those young people who say to themselves, I'm going to break the mold. I don't care what that situation was.
Yeah.
I'm going to be a much better parent to my child than my parent was to me.
Is that easier said than done sometimes?
Well, it's always easier to say something. That's just how that goes.
Yeah.
But you have to commit to doing that. It does not make no sense to talk about how easy something is not, is almost to say that you're ready to fail.
No, I'm just looking at the reality of the situation. And like you said, it's real easy. It's real easy to make those statements. It's real easy. But once you're in the game, man, once you're in that fight with Mike Tyson, it's real easy to say I'm gonna knock him out. But once you get in that ring with Mike Tyson and you're in that ring and he's throwing the young Mike Tyson throwing them bolos at you, you know, it's a whole different situation.
Well, yeah, and that's why you should have been prepared. The only thing that's gonna change the situation is somebody got to look at the outcomes of other people. And say to themselves, I don't want to be like that.
That's good.
I don't want to be in that situation.
Yeah.
My mother did exactly that. Oh, you think them streets got something for you? Go out there and see.
Yeah. Go and explore. Young man.
I'm not going to tell you can't do nothing. You're going to learn how to have enough sense to make the decision yourself. Ask these folks I look after, do they like laying out there in them gutters drunk? And how they feel about themselves. Now, if that's what you desire, don't go get that education and you're going to be laying right next to them.
Wow.
Everything was an application to life. It wasn't theory.
Good deal.
So we have to understand that, one, you have to teach your children to do that which is right. And one thing I would want Black people to stop doing. Respect the age of responsibility.
Yeah, that's good.
That 40-year-old people also talking about, well, them kids what? Them kids is grown. You don't give them no excuse.
Yeah.
You put them in, like, I like how my man Tucson says.
Put them out.
You can come back. I'm gonna be there for you, but what I'm not going to do is enable foolishness.
Wow, that's good.
Y'all got boys that y'all letting stay in y'all house, go out and screw everything, make babies all over the place, and then want to act like it's the girl's fault. And you trying to protect him, this grown man out doing these things now, but he's still your little boy.
Wow, stay right there. Ryan, what's on your heart, brother? Ryan?
I'm here. Yeah. It's different. Like Rico said, listen to other people and their life experience. Mine was different. Growing up in an abusive home, having to fight not only my mother but my stepdad, and then having my own flesh and blood throw me out in the street and choose somebody that over me that's not even my dad. So I got tossed out in the street. I had to live that street life. But I think it's one of those things that some of us have to go through, and it was a blessing for me more so than a curse. At the time, I was cursing. But in the end, I learned so many different valuable things that I could take back to my children. And a lot of them, we still struggle with things today. I'm not, I travel around for my company. I'm in a very good spot, but life is still hard. And they see that every day. And so when I come on these business trips, like I am today for a week, my kid's blowing up my phone.
Yeah.
They just want to see my face. They want to know I'm alive and coming back home. And I think that that's the message that I want to leave to my kids is stay with who you have your children with if it's a good scenario, right? Don't put yourself in an abusive situation, but you want your kids to love you, but they understand that I'm not their friend.
Yeah.
I'm here to fully support everything that they want to do and make sure that their life goes well, but I ain't your friend. Don't talk to me like I'm your friend, because I'm not.
Yeah.
You're still in the growing phase. You still have a lot of things to learn. And if you make the decision to leave home before I've taught you how to write a check, how to manage bills, how to go through and understand what your weekly, bi-weekly, and monthly finances or responsibilities are for the bills for your house, you're making a poor decision. And I can't stop you when you hit 18 and you want to run out the door. But I didn't do what was done to me. I didn't put you out at 14. I'm willing, ready, and able to provide you all of the love necessary for you to succeed and teach you in all of the ways that I know how to succeed in life. But the ball is still in your court. You have to make that decision to stay home and learn those things.
Yep. On your own. Yep. On your own. Wow. Anybody else have anything they want to say on this topic before we get out of here? Is what is it? 10:02. So it's time for us to get out of here. But Cassandra, got anything on your heart?
No, sir.
What? Willow.
You know, I really did have something on my heart right here.
Well, come on, let's talk about it.
You know, I really did. You know, children are the most precious things that you can have in this here world. Because there are so many things that you can add to your child. And so many things your child can add to you.
Yes.
Because we should never get so old that we can, except sometimes when our children get old enough that they could say something to us that helps us. But sometimes when we get at a certain age, we get so prideful, we get so stubborn, that they can't teach us nothing. But that's not true. That's not true, because we learn it right now, the different generations, right now. Not saying that what they're doing are right, but you're learning that communication piece, because that's what's necessary. That's what's necessary for us all to understand one another. So I just want to say that for kids are, man, because I have grandkids now that are so precious. The good thing about them, they get to go back home. That's the good thing.
Exactly.
I just wanted to put that out there right here.
Good deal. Toussaint, close us out, brother. What's on your heart?
I put my I put my son's clothes and took them out the drawer and the closet after he graduated high school. Took them out. Son, you gotta find something to do with these clothes. He now has his Navy chief. He had 7 children. He has 6 children. Stays in San Diego, California. It's not cheap. I got the keys to a house that he has in Mobile, Alabama. He stays in Virginia. That's a thing that I believe that calls tough love. Not saying because every time he calls, if he needs something, I'm going to be there. I don't care what it is. I don't care how much it is. But he's going to do the first effort, not me.
Yeah.
He's going to do what he needs to do first. He said, I never thought my daddy would do me like that. Best thing I could ever did for him. Because I didn't raise a child, I raised a man, I believe. I helped raise anyway.
Exactly. That's good. That's good. Now I'm gonna throw a question out there and I want everybody to give me their response to it. Totally different question. Ain't got nothing to do with nothing we talked about today. Rico, I'm gonna start with you. Rico, you there? Rico, you there?
Yeah, go ahead.
What is the #1 best Eddie Murphy movie of all times?
Life.
Wow, you hit a home run with that one. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Toussaint.
I think I'll watch it tonight just because you said it. There it is right there.
There you go. There you go.
Right.
Voila!
Rico stole my answer.
Okay. Good deal. Cassandra? Cassandra?
Yeah, I don't remember the name of it, but it's the one where he was an executive and he was playing all these women, and then a woman,
Boomerang.
I think it was Halle Berry, came along and busted him down.
Yeah, Boomerang.
Now,
Yeah.
I don't know the name of it.
Boomerang. Yeah.
What's the name of it?
Boomerang. Yeah. Boomerang.
Huh?
That's Boomerang.
Boomerang. That's it.
Yeah.
Boomerang.
Okay. Good deal. Good deal. Ryan?
I'm gonna have to go with Delirious.
Oh, the stand up.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's still a film.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, it is. It is.
good.
Yeah. Good deal. Leonard, ain't no telling what we're about to get with Leonard. What we're gonna get? What you got, Leonard? Ain't he gonna what you got?
Well, I used to watch Life all the time, but I like Harlem Nights just as much. I like Harlem Nights quite a bit. And then I love his animated series, The PJs.
Okay.
But he makes, I think I was talking with somebody else about, a guy that can usually come up with a hit. And Eddie Murphy is one of those guys. There's been some that I haven't liked as much as others. But Life and Harlem Nights been on repeat for a long time.
What about Dr. Dolittle?
I like Dr. Dolittle too. I didn't like it as much as Life.
No.
And Harlem Nights and things. Movies for adults. I prefer those movies. I even love Vampire in Brooklyn.
Nah, I ain't care about that one, man. I ain't care for that one at all. I'm surprised nobody said 48 Hours or one of those movies too, because those was classics too. It wasn't as quote unquote funny as Life. But
about the Nutty Professor series.
Nutty Professor, yeah, that was good. Ooh, what's on my lip? Ooh, what's on my lip?
Hercules.
Yeah, but Eddie Murphy has some real good. I wish Curtis was still here so we could get his take on it. But anyway, time for us to get out of here. Time for us to get out of here. Cassandra Alexander Green. Her and that doggone mute button. It's right there.
Raheem, I am peeling shrimp. I'm peeling shrimp for my shrimp and grits.
Oh, okay.
What?
You burned up the kitchen. Okay, you burned up the kitchen. I understand what you're saying. Cassandra, somebody joined us at 8 o'clock, 8:30, 9 o'clock, 9:15, maybe even 9:30. And they say, man, I'm loving this conversation. They're talking about something that I really want to hear more of what they're saying. Cassandra, is it possible for them to hear some more?
It is absolutely possible for them to do that. All they have to do is at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, they can log on to dkmmediagroup.com and hear or see the show in its entirety.
Good deal. Good deal. Now I got one more piece of business I got to take care of before we get up out of here. Let me see if she's still here. Is she still here? Willa!
Hey, Raheem.
Willa, are you ready?
I'm ready, Raheem. I am so ready.
Oh no, now you don't sound like you're ready. Willa, you sure you're ready?
I'm ready, Raheem. Come on, Raheem.
Okay.
Let's go.
Well, Willa, if you say you're ready, I ain't got but one more thing to say. And that is, Willa, Let's go.
Amen, amen, amen. Father God of heaven, Lord, we just thank you this morning. Lord, we thank you for waking us up and giving us another chance at life. Father, we thank you so much. I tell you, the enemy is running rapid, Lord. But Father, I know that you are still in control.
Yes.
Father, I know that you continually bestow your grace and your mercy upon us, oh Lord. Father, I thank you. Thank you, Lord, for your word, because you sent your word for healing. You sent your word for strength. And Father, I thank you. Father, I'm praying for those who asked for prayer this morning, oh Lord. Father, I might have forgotten their name, but Father, I know that you know, because you are all-knowing, all-powerful, and all-present. Father, we thank you, and we honor you this morning for this show, Lord. The Bible teaches us and says to train up a child, train them up. So, Father, you told us in your word on how to teach our children, how to show them the right way, give them direction, oh Lord. And Father, I thank you for your knowledge, Lord. Father, I honor you and glorify you, Lord. Touch each and every last one that's whatever it is, oh Lord, that they're struggling with,
Yes, Lord.
whatever circumstance
Yes, Lord.
that they are in right now, oh Lord. Father, they need you, oh Lord. So, Father, I'm asking you to touch their hearts. That anything that is not of you, oh Lord, Father, I'm asking that you take it away.
Yes, Lord.
Thank you, oh Lord. Thank you for the morning glory. Thank you for Raheem and his family. We honor, praise, lift you up in your son Jesus' name. Amen, amen, amen. Thank you, Lord.
Yes, Lord. Yes, Lord. Good deal. Good deal. Anybody got anything before we get out of here?
Raheem, I did want to say something.
Say something.
Don't allow failure to set the standards.
Mm-hmm.
Keep the standards high.
Mm-hmm.
Give them at least something to reach for, as opposed to just settling for anything.
Mm-hmm. What's I used to say the thing before you get off, before you end the show, he used to say something like this. He said, always shoot for the moon. And even if you miss, you are still amongst the stars.
Right. And I think that would help us a whole lot than just accepting what the world has put on our plate. As believers.
Why did he shoot for the sun? Why had to be at nighttime? Why did you take a shot at nighttime?
You know what?
I'm just trying to figure. You did shoot for the moon, and at least
I
you'll
thought it was shoot for the stars.
No. He used to always
idea.
No, he used to always say, I'm thinking it might have been Tom Jones. It was one of them guys. He had a show. He used to always say, always shoot for the moon, and even if you missed, you'll be amongst the stars.
Yeah, I remember. I just can't remember who used to say it.
Yeah, I remember the saying. They said every time for the end of the broadcast.
But you know, Raheem, that's gonna change our situation when we stop accepting failure as a standard.
Yeah. And you know another thing? There was a comedian. He said, man, he had this great idea. He said, man, people done went to the moon. He said, I ain't gonna do that. No, I ain't gonna do that. I'm gonna do something different.
I'm gonna let him go.
They said, well, what you gonna do? He said, I'm gonna go to the sun. He said, what? You gonna go to the sun, fool? The sun is hot. You gonna burn up? He said, I done figured that out. I'm gonna go at night.
You can't let that set the standard. You just can't. We can't allow fools to lead. We can't do it. Not long as I'm breathing.
That fool say Tucson. That fool say, I'm gonna go at night. Okay, bro. Go ahead on.
It sounds logical to some people.
Oh, I don't want to eat dinner with them people.
Okay. Our conversation just ended, brother. I'll talk to you later. Our conversation is over. You go ahead on and make your plans to make your trip, but I can't talk to you no more, man. Yeah, that dumb is rubbing off on me. Anyway, man, look, I shouldn't have said, excuse me, mama. I ain't mean to say that, mama. I ain't mean to say that. But listen, we're about to get out of here. It's been a great Tucson. You got anything you want to say? I heard you over there, brother. You want to say something real quick?
No, some things you can't fix.
Okay.
Like stupid.
Okay. All right. Mama Tucson didn't say that out loud.
It get better, Raheem.
It ain't gonna get no better. Let me get on out of here right now. I want to thank everybody for what time is it? Let me see. 10. What is it? 10:16? What does this thing say? 10:15. I want to thank everybody for joining us, and more than that, I want to thank you for allowing DK Media Group and Associates and the Morning Glow for being a part of your morning. It is now 10:16. You're about to exit the Morning Glow, but before you go, I want you to do me two favors, if you will. One, I want you to continue to pray for us because we are certainly praying for each and every one of you. Number two, why this is real simple. I want you to go out there, find somebody, and give them a hug because you never know. It could be the only hug that they get, or it could very well be their last. Love you, and ain't nothing you can do about it. Have a great day and a better tomorrow. Then we shine some less light on you from the Morning Glow. Take it out there into this wicked and cruel world that we live in, and let your light so shine. If you get an opportunity, give somebody some love. You just might find some love in return. Won't that be a beautiful thing? Have a great day. Take care of each other, and please, please, please be blessed. Give somebody some love and truth. They would appreciate it, and I'm sure that you will as well. Have a great day. Talk to you tomorrow morning. If the same. Have a great evening, y'all. Love you.